where can I hide, ho? Niggas can't shoot crap, so drink up, ain't no more with fucking real. Helicopter scoping, 13-year-old bound for STC. Blow a joint, let's get drunk. Wizzy is a Dana bird. Eyeball bloodshot red as hell, meaning full of fucking earth. Young niggas popping cone, hoes say my dick is long. Jealous niggas hate this shit, make me wanna shoot my tone. The pimp is in my nature, it made me wanna beat it the bitch that I fuck with until she started trying the tricks. Lil' Jen drinking, the cognac keeping me ready to pull the trigger. I'm happy, don't fuck with a nigga that's kinda like full. Step up, watch the block shots, hit the CC pump. Fall on your motherfucking face, 12 gauge pump. Lame ass niggas can't fuck with a nigga case. Too late, no escape, young niggas heavyweight.
Oh yeah, the skinny nigga. Introducing the youngest, hardest nigga. Lil Jen, once again, bitch. He's back. Y'all know what time it is.
Rolling in my pippin', ain't no telling what I'm finna do. My people just a beefin', so I'm taking a risk to drop off 2 keys in my lap, just in case these niggas stain. And I'm scrap, bitch, don't trip, cause I'm equipped with that pistol grip. Rolling down the highway, on my way, I'm drinking Alizé. Spraying that cherry spray, I'm blowing my heater while I'm chiefin'. Hey, made it to my designation, then I grip my cellular. Nigga, where your ass at? Then I load my fucking gate. Looking through my river, then I shout, he pulled up, that's the man. Stepping out the car, kinda slow, with a briefcase in his hand. The money that he pulled out was on crispy when he opened it. Once I reach, then I see niggas out of nowhere with them texts. Thinking kind of a fast, but reaching slow to grip my fucking gun. Soon as I open my trench, to my fucking arm, they let you know not to go out like no sucker. Cause when you dealing, go somebody else is on they fucking hustle.
Damn Skippy, international pimpin'. Moves on all across the world. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of phones. Here it comes on lotteries. Everything.
Demons in my soul, triple six with no love, like a pistol walking dead. Bullets in your head, so fuck yeah, boy. I blast you in your ass with this last. I blizz ass, the tip, then leave your body flat. Worms crawling, and then I take it to my face. When you stink, then I drink till they wonder where you went. My bitch is at the crib with a trick you won't pay up. I told her bitch to get the gun and shoot him in his nuts. Now focus on this action taking place up at a crib. This nigga full of bullets, so they wonder will he live. Bullets went to flames, leaving brains in the toilet. The bitch they called a murder child, so she ain't even important. I smoked, then I thought about this thing I wanted to make. I think I gotta shoot this punk ass nigga in his face. I'm fucking with him though. I creeped up on the hoe.
That was Little Jen, Shake Junt, once again from 1995. Some underground Memphis rap for y'all. Welcome to the motherfucking News Underground. The only source of actual real information on Twitch, it seems, because everyone else is worried about their fortunes. Everyone else is worried about their fucking ego, worried about the fucking dollar, worried about the bag. Meanwhile, the motherfucking fascists are worried about destroying our liberty, and we're sitting around like a bunch of motherfucking idiots. But we're not going to be talking about the rise of fascism in America today. We're going to be talking about a different existential fight. Ukraine, baby. And let me tell you something. Ukraine, baby. I'm all about it. This could either be an incredibly genius, brilliant move, or a big fat boner. Right now, it looks like a goddamn masterstroke. But we got to see. Worried about Elon's Dogecoin scams? Not anymore. I'm worried about the gold I keep in the chests in my cave. Well, don't just haphazardly leave a treasure map somewhere. You know, you mistake it for one of your other scrolls, right? You leave it under a bench. You're like, oh, I thought that was just my grocery list. You gotta watch out. Goblins can be very absent-minded. Okay? So that was the music video for Art of Noise. All right, folks, it's all about Ukraine. Let's just jump right into it. It's that Ukraine incursion, baby. Let me fix this chroma key filter there. There we go. But it's a Ukraine incursion. Not an invasion, but it's interesting because incursion... No, not incus. Yes. An incursion is an invasion or attack, especially a sudden or brief one. So right now, this is like day 5, day 6. Safe to say it's an incursion. The real question is, are they going to turn it into a Bakhmut? Are they going to turn it into an Avdiivka? Are they going to turn it into a situation that Russia has to dump near endless amounts of resources in a desperate bid to nudge Ukraine out of the region? And we're already seeing, I believe, little spoiler alert for the end of the stream, little treat for everybody. But we're already seeing Russia shuffling stuff, moving stuff around from the front lines. Will we see, like I said, Ukraine holding this and then what, trying to use this as a bargaining chip? I mean, that's got to be the cherry on top, right? That's got to be like, if all the chips fall in line. Realistically, Russia is going to dump every single motherfucking inch, ounce of resistance into removing Ukraine. And also, let's not forget the history here. This is the first time, this is epic, this is the first time that Russia has been invaded by a foreign country since World War II. So fuck around and find out, right? And let me tell you something, man. Say you're one of these ghoulish motherfuckers working for government military and you're shopping around for, you're at one of these horrendous fucking military conferences, right? Where they're like, oh yeah, this fucking missile will kill 600 people easy, no problem. See, look, it's all about the pattern of the balls that you see the balls come out that shreds human flesh, right? And they just, they sit there with a fucking collared shirt telling you, Lockheed Martin representative telling you about the killing capacity of their latest fucking death machine. So you're one of these guys shopping around. You're actually one of these guys that needs to listen to these fucking spiels and make a decision. Are you really gonna go back to your boss and say, oh yeah, Russia's, pennies on the dollar, AK's up the wazoo, T-60, T-70s, T-90s. Oh yeah, we bought a whole bunch of them. Your ass is getting fired. Your ass is getting fired. Every fucking bit of tech that Russia is putting out there is getting creamed. I'm fucking talking about liquidated, dude. It's like it's well over 50%. They bring out anything, it gets shredded instantly. And they had a little sliver of an opportunity when Mike Johnson was fucking choking them for ammo. But now that they're fully kitted up, and let me tell you, they got new tech. These drones are using radio frequencies that the Russian jammers weren't even ready for, bitch. Yes! You know what I'm talking about? Lean, mean, and ready to motherfucking win this shit. That's a winning strategy. So I thought I'd show this. Holy shit! Here we go! Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm so fucking ready for this. My body is ready. So Zelensky was asked, I think he's recently put out a different statement, but this was kind of the first statement. He was asked directly, he's at NATO. He was asked, hey, what's going on in Kursk? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it even real? I don't know. That's true. That's true. This is off Twitter. Might not even be real. I want it to be. I'm willing it into being real. I don't care if this happened at a different time. It actually happened at this time. The Republicans get to do it all the time. God damn it, I'm going to do it once. Come on. Let's all just join in my own self-delusion. Come on, guys. Come along. Let's go. I don't know. It might be a meme of an older video. It probably is. You guys suck. I don't care. It's real. No, I don't care. We're willing this into existence. It's real. I don't know.
Не знаю.
I don't know. I don't care. I'm spreading misinformation. I'm doing that. So, I mean, I'm just flying through these clips. So many amazing clips. Exactly, strategy. Exactly. That's how the news works, right? That's how a professional news operation works, okay? It's the news underground. Okay, we take the news very seriously. Panic in Russia. You know, it's ironic. Not a single one of these motherfuckers has to worry about a single thing as long as they're not carrying a weapon. And I got evidence of that. Ukrainians letting civilians by, not harassing them, not filling them up with bullets like the Russians were, right? Not looting Russian homes, you know, for furniture and appliances, right? No, they're not doing any of that shit. Locals are fleeing, shops are closing, and there are queues at the gas station. Aww. Bye-bye. We gotta play it every single time. We gotta play. See you later, dumbasses. Your stupid-looking fucking cheap-ass cars. Get the fuck out of here. Chinese, cheap-ass Chinese fucking crap. Ladas from the fucking 60s. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. How do you feel about that invasion now? Cars are awesome, but these cars suck. Every single one of them. I mean, this one could be cool. This one could be cool. This kind of looks like deja vu. This, you know, this kind of looks like an A6. But it's not cool. All right. Look, not a single civilian. I don't think, is there evidence of a single civilian being hurt right now? Do we got anything? You know, even, you know, accidents, you know, caught up, crossfire, mistaken identity, you know, someone, you know, pops around the corner after a gunfight, gets lit up. Dude was just like, you know, getting his groceries. We have any? I couldn't find any. Total professionals. The Ukrainian military. These people actually have nothing to worry about. But yeah, get the fuck out of here, you cowards. How do you feel about your little invasion now? Oh, Putin's got my back. He's going to hook me up with $100. After World War II, Germany convinced 300,000 war criminals. Russia only 10. Real most moral army in the world. Convicted. Yeah, you know, Russia really doesn't... There's a whole different philosophy when it comes to that kind of stuff. When it comes to war crimes and stuff. They really don't, philosophically right now, the Russian government, I should say, because it's not, you know, Russia is not a monolith. There are a lot of people who understand the cold, brutal, nihilistic nature of the Russian government and have a lot of problems with it within Russia. But yeah, the Russian government, man, war criminals, you're good to go, dude. Incredibly corrupt. I mean, if you think about there's some real history there. You could look it up. Some of these some characters, right? Russia in crisis. Look at that. I mean, these border guards getting scooped up. Oh, whoa. Lucky. You're lucky. Okay? And the reason why you're here is because you're trash. You know, they're probably syphilitic, illiterate, you know, the worst of the worst. Probably a bunch of injuries, because these are the border guys. These are the trash soldiers that they put on the border. Caught completely off guard, overwhelmed, way over their ass. So they're surrendering in droves. Good on you. And you're lucky. You're fucking lucky that Zelensky has to please the Western democracies who have a higher standard that they hypocritically said, of course, right? This higher standard that the U.S. totally fucking ignored in Iraq and Afghanistan. But regardless, Zelensky is holding himself to a much higher standard. And let me tell you something. Half of these motherfuckers wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for that standard and Zelensky needing the ammo, needing the weapons, needing to keep that going. And it's really quite amazing. Years. We have years of this. I've had a kid sense this. And they still haven't, the Ukrainian military still hasn't devolved into the barbarism that we're seeing, of course, from the Russian side, right? Oh, behead, you know, we got Medvedev, right, who's not officially part of the government, but it's government adjacent, making statements about, oh, you got to behead everyone. And then, of course, we're seeing footage of them dismembering them, putting them in ghoulish horror movie style arrangements with their body, like cutting up their arms and torsos and putting them in some kind of fucking macabre art piece. That's what the Russians are doing, and it ain't working. It ain't. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is after those incidents. This is after the beheadings. This is after the dismemberments. The heinous, unbelievable torture. 95, what was it? 90%, 95%, that report coming out of Ukrainian soldiers are tortured in captivity. One way or the other. Sound, physical, sexual. Absolute professionals over here. I don't know how the Ukrainian soldier does it. You would just have to ignore that stuff. Just like, don't even fucking tell me, dude. I got my commander telling me I gotta take as many prisoners as fucking possible with these fucking idiots. And you telling me that makes me just want to murder all of them. Just want to rake this fucking pile right here. So I don't know how the Ukrainian military does it, because I don't know if I could handle myself and my emotions like that. Because, I mean, look, if you, it's in the Discord. You want to check it out, the Discord, Chem Goblin, if you can help them out. Evidence in the Discord. Russia dismembering, beheading. Thank you, Chem Goblin. So, this woman over here pleading, these are inhumans. Where's our government? Putin, please help. A Russian resident in the Kursk region is clearly dissatisfied with the situation. What is this motherfucking Price is Right era motherfucking microphone? What is this 70s ass retro tech? What the fuck is this shit, dude? You pulled this out of the fucking Dick Cavett show? What the fuck? You Bob Barker on the other end of this motherfucker? What the fuck? Anyway. Hey, how about $100, bitch? That's what Putin's got for you. How's that invasion? How's that super awesome invasion going for you? And look, she's not dead. We can send this message without murdering women and children, without starving them, right? We can send this message of, like, actions have consequences without extreme violence. There's actually other ways of doing it, right? So am I supposed to feel bad? Right? She might even get to keep her fucking house. Okay? When Russia rolls into one of these towns, everything gets annihilated. And I'm talking everything. Little farmhouses, playgrounds, areas the Ukrainian military goes nowhere near. Just wipe it all out. So am I supposed to feel bad? The watermark says careful news. Careful. Information. You might form an opinion all your own. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad. Hot take. Yeah. That thing you've been ignoring that's on your TV every like six, seven dedicated propaganda channels in Russia blasting out this shit. Oh, everything's going great. Everything's justified. Everything's great. For all I know, she could be, like, really against this from the very beginning. Wouldn't that be ironic? Like, there's footage of her, like, being a peace activist in Russia. Wouldn't that be something? Highly doubtful, though. For a myriad of reasons. Even if she meant it, it'd be incredibly dangerous for her to do that because the Russian government is the Russian government. Your ass will get thrown in jail for years protesting the government. Tell me if you would do that, right? Throw it all away for an afternoon protest. So that intimidation works. So here's more images, several images and videos of dozens of Russian soldiers being captured by Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region of Russia in the past 2 days. Well over 100 Russian soldiers are reported to have surrendered in Kursk. Lucky motherfuckers. That's all I got to say. You're lucky. You're lucky. Whoa, dude. Demon from hell. We got a demon from hell here. Right. Right. Let's go. I know. Look, I understand he's trying to hide his identity so he's not tortured by the Russian military if they were ever to capture him. I understand that's why he's doing it, but it definitely adds a whole other fucking layer of spooky creepiness to this whole situation. Thank you, Satan. Appreciate the update, Satan. Satan News. He's thanking Sternenko for his drones. Yeah, it's really great. I wish I was a more popular channel because I'd be doing a lot more of this fundraising I'm seeing a lot of these other more popular channels doing. And, you know, buying. I saw this war analyst guy. He, you know, through a fundraiser, he was able to buy a couple ambulances. No, it was fire trucks. It was 2 used fire trucks, you know, to help, you know, for Ukraine there. So it's an amazing job. I wish I was more popular. But, hey, thank you for that follow, making me more popular. Shadow Hunter Space-Time Flower. Excellent. I trust Satanic News more than most networks. You know? I would totally tune into Satan News. Are you kidding me? You fucking bet I would. It'd be like 90% real, you know, real information, and then 10% like the craziest shit you've ever seen. Like, you know, you'd get the weather report, and then the monthly blood sacrifice. You know, it's like, that would be wild. Ukrainian forces devastated the border point Stuza with FPV and other strikes during the early stage of the incursion, forcing all defenders to surrender. Yeah, these guys, like I said, trash troops, fucking Aussie blasting. You know, I would love to blast that shit full volume, but I cannot. Wait, I thought this was Satan News. Like, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's pretty close to it. You got an interesting personality. No worries. Peeps will find you and you will grow. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not putting my hopes on it. It's fine if it does. It's fine if it doesn't. Yes, Ozzy Osbourne was the lead singer for Black Sabbath. Thank you, Kem Goblin. Technically, this is a Black Sabbath song. Thank you, Kem Goblin. That's right. These boys are lucky. These boys are fucking lucky. Look at them all filed in there. You know, could have been a HIMARS strike. And you know what? Russia will absolutely strike these kind of situations. That, you know, this is absolutely an open target. Everyone is putting themselves in danger here. Russia will absolutely fire a missile. Oh, you're fine, Smash. Welcome back. I thought this was Lincoln Park. Davey. Kursk People's Republic liberation soon to be over. We'll try and arrange a democratic referendum for exit out of the Federation. I do have that clip of that woman saying, "Hey, this is great. I'll be part of Ukraine." I feel bad. Yeah, here it is. Funny. It's perfect timing. Ice King, or I mean Tisrael. So I got some things to say about this. Let's go ahead and just get her statement. Let's get this out of the way first, and then I have a couple things to say. Oh, nice. That must mean Jeff Bezos likes me now. Thank you, Ice King. So this woman's really great. Yeah. Things are doing all right, Smash. Thank you.
Да здравствует Суржанская народная республика. Искренне, да. Достала Раша. Сил нет. Достал терроризм. Путин пидорас. Украине слава.
Класс.
So that's great. I mean, she's great, right? She's wonderful. Glory to Ukraine, right? The whole nine. Border, you know, and it makes a lot of sense. She's living in a border town right next to Ukraine. She probably has friends and family. She probably goes to Ukraine all the time, right? So she's chill. She's like, whatever. But here's the thing. Okay, Kem Goblin, fine. We doubt everything. Just a blanket statement for this entire stream. A lot of these clips are from Twitter. A lot of these clips are unverified. I don't have the time or resources to do that. Grain of salt for literally everything, okay? I mean, that's important, right? I make fun that this is like, not a very professional news organization. But all the same, right? It is fair to mention that. It is fair to mention that a lot of this stuff is Twitter unverified, right? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be talking about it, reporting on it. And of course, if we run into corrections, I'm happy to, put that in the Discord, queue it up for next time. And of course, we got people in the chat who will real-time fact check me, which is always useful, if not completely embarrassing. Anyway, my statements about this. She's wonderful. She's great. Totally chill. Makes perfect sense. She lives in a border town right next to Ukraine. Like I said, she has friends and family, probably. But all the same, Russia is brutal. The Russian government is not going to forget this. There's a high likelihood that Russia is taking this back. That Ukraine has I believe Ukraine has no intention whatsoever of keeping this. This is a bargaining chip. This is not about, first we take Kursk and then we get Moscow. Okay? This isn't about setting up a beachhead. It's obvious what this is. It's a bargaining chip. If they can hold it, and if they can't hold it, they're going to force Russia to dump thousands of men. Hundreds of vehicles are going to get blown the fuck up. Because how long did it take to get them pulled out of Bakhmut and Avdiivka? Right? Weeks. Thousands of men. Thousands of Wagner. What was it? 30,000 Wagner? Something like that? An unbelievable amount. So this woman might have, was it 20,000? An unbelievable amount of scumbags giving their life. I can't wait until Russia has to give up Bakhmut and they put a fucking statue dedicated to the Ukrainian fighters right in the center of the meat grinder where all those Wagners were fucked up. All you need to do is go to combat footage to see what Wagner's up to. Some of the most disgusting human beings on planet Earth. They deserved every fucking bit of it. But anyway, this woman's putting herself in big-time danger. I know she's stylish. She's great. She's my hero. I love her, right? She's awesome. But she's also putting herself in danger. Putin's not going to forget this. I hope she's okay. She looks she looks like the kind of chick that'll totally be able to handle herself. So she might be perfectly fine. And she's like, yeah, whatever. I'm not intimidated or scared by this stupid government. So, she seems like a very strong person, but I worry for her safety. Thank you for the follow, Classic Za. Appreciate it. I would vote against annexing any of these territories. No, that's off the table. We all know what the fuck is going on here. Okay, Zelensky can't walk up to the mic quite yet and say, yeah, this is the grand scheme. This is the plan. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Right, but we know what this is. This is a bargaining chip. If they can hold it, and like I said, if they can't hold it, Russia's going to have to move stuff away from critical areas. That's really going to be something else. If they really are forced to move stuff away from other frontline positions to take back Kursk, because they have to take it back. They can't ignore it. It makes Putin look like a bitch. So the whole priority list just shifted. Kursk just went right to the very top. Bet she wish she had some of that sweet Second Amendment right now. Not everyone wants to die in a gunfight, Sovereign Dari. Believe it or not. Not everyone is insane like us. Even if they beg to join, I would vote against. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? They hold an independent of any government, just the people hold an independent referendum about joining Ukraine. Please, can we stay? Please. I mean, that would be something. That really would be something. I don't think that's what, we're entering fantasy land here. It's pretty clear, like I said, what this is. If they can hold it, bargaining chip. If they can't hold it, how long can they hold it? And how much resources can they divert from the front line? It's obvious what this is. This isn't an invasion. As a Ukrainian, nobody knows what the plan is with Kursk now is. All of our soldiers are super silent. Well, yeah. You can't be talking about, you got to leave it totally fucking ambiguous right now. And just let Russia make mistake after mistake after mistake. Have you seen my baseball? No, I've not seen your baseball. The OPSEC is really good. 12 hours after destruction of a Russian column with a dozen vehicles in Kursk zone, Russia's bringing up more Russian columns to be destroyed. So this is over and over and over again. It reeks of desperation. I have a video who is taking on a different perspective. Strategy. Can you give me the long and short of it? What's the different perspective? I do appreciate any of that, but yeah, I'm just of course giving my opinion, non-military expert here. Opinion. I know I have a beard, but that actually doesn't make you a military expert. So that's just my personal opinion, that this is either, like I said, a bargaining chip or at the very least going to pull resources away, from the front line. But here's Russia over here dumping those resources. What I want to see, baby. What I want to see. Look at this these antiques. Looks like a goddamn Antiques Roadshow over here. Crail, I know, it's weird, dude. It's weird. I actually don't know how to fully operate and clean an M16. I actually don't know how to do that. These dudes have zero experience. They do 2022 mistakes with columns. The columns thing is really interesting because, yeah, people are pointing that out, that you should have learned your lesson, especially after Kyiv, right? Going, the Kyiv column that got creamed. But they keep making these, because it's Soviet doctrine. It's just Soviet doctrine. Smoking, watching Antique Roadshow, though. Oh, I see. Okay, Trailhead. You're too clever for me. I mean, it's the idea of location, not ditching the strategy, but more the strategy finding the location because it was just convenient to go there instead of a whole plan behind it. You think? You think this is just a lark? Like the other? Because the reason what makes it different than the Russian, when they sent the Russian guys in there, was that they're sending Ukrainians in, and not only that, but they're sending the airborne. These like their number one most competent battalion has been sent in. Put it in the doc cinema because it's a 20-minute video. No, it's a bit more complex. Okay, all right, I'll take a look at that. Thank you, strategy member. Estonian, who remembers that 65? Yeah, the one that got creamed, right? The one headed to Kyiv, right? Big O line of stuff. What are you gonna do with that? Nothing. Look at all the fancy stuff we're gonna get blown up, guys. So here we go. Once again, more reinforcements. Empowers you to have the same steel and black shades of Sam Cedar. Yeah, well, Sam Cedar's all right. He's okay. Him and Emma Vigeland. Fuck this song. Fuck this stupid fucking song. Your stupid fucking invasion. Lining up like a bunch of fucking lemmings. Idiots. On your way to the goddamn meat grinder. They don't even know it. They think it's like, this is gonna be a 5-minute one and done, man. Watch out, bro. They have no fucking idea. Probably half these guys in this video are already dead. I'm not even being fucking hyperbolic. I know I sound like I'm like full of rage right now, but this has gone on way too long. They've been abusing the Ukrainian people. When Russia occupies an area, the people there suffer. Why don't you just drive Toyota trucks? No, 60-year-old fucking, look at some of this shit, dude. This shit is so old, bro. This shit is so old. They don't even have replacement parts for this shit. No, they do. They have warehouses full of them. It's like right. It's like the USSR. Like the military strategy was quantity over quality. Just have an unbelievable amount of stuff. And I believe they were artificially stimulating their economy by making more and more stuff. Thank you, Gob88. I mean, it's just transportation. Yeah. True. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, I'm going to be looking to the left on this video.
Уважаемый Владимир Владимирович, мы жители Российской Федерации, Курской
Back up,
области,
cameraman, back
Сержанского
up.
района.
There, yep, there we
Обращаемся к
go.
вам. 6 числа на нашу землю
Once again,
зашли иностранные войска.
I'm supposed to feel bad. We're not going to watch this whole 4 minutes. But I'm supposed to feel bad. You know, you guys, yeah, we're kicking butt. The bitch is wearing an I'm not sorry t-shirt. Could this get literally any more ironic? I'm not sorry on the fucking t-shirt, dog. She ain't sorry for nothing. Sorry for herself. Probably doesn't even know what it means. That makes it, I mean, the irony is dripping. The irony is fucking dripping here. She looks cold on the left. She looks like she's cold. Someone please continue. Yeah. Whatever. Whatever. If the shoe was on the other foot, some of these people would have been taken prisoner, kidnapped. You know, what did we see the Russians do when they took over a town? Rounding up everybody, putting them down into the school basement for weeks. Right? Oh, go shit in the corner. Right? Yeah, we don't have a toilet for you. Go shit in the corner. In some cases, a bunch of women and children living down there for weeks. And like I said, these people will likely come back to their home intact, unrobbed. Their home might be robbed, but not from a Ukrainian. It'll be from local Russians taking advantage of the situation. But what did we see the Russians do when they went in? Taking toilets and washers and dryers, kicking old men and women out of their homes, terrorizing them, ransacking them. Yeah. What, 88? Nah, that's Hitler shit. Look, Gob, I guess I'm gonna, what the fuck, 88? Nah, dog. We're not stupid around here, motherfucker. We're not stupid around here. I'm gonna send you a warning with a 10-minute timeout. Change your fucking name. Take the 88 out of it. And then come on back. We're not stupid around here. Fucking crypto fascists. So once again, it's more clips.
Не могу в это поверить.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
Вывозите, выезжайте как можете.
Yeah.
Говорят, сейчас вот я уже...
Look, I'm not saying look, I acknowledge the difficulty of protesting. My home got robbed by Russian for real. No shit. You were in the, the eastern area. Classical? You had to get out of there? Kharkiv. Goddamn. So yeah, she'll have a home to come back to, not rubble. Look, I mean, there's still a part of me that does feel a little bad, to see a woman cry. But, the alternative is death. The alternative is annihilation. That's what Russia has been doing to Ukrainians. I can't help but point that out. Is this inconvenient for this woman? Is this inconvenient for this woman? Yeah. It's a pain in the ass. Scary. But she'll live. Strategy. I mean, ironically, she would actually be just fine. I mean, it's not that she would be just fine because there is the possibility that Russia might start shelling these towns. Russia might start annihilating these homes. It won't be Ukraine, right? It'll be Russia that starts doing that if these towns get creamed. That's because that's like, that's the de facto way that they want to fight the war. They just want to carpet bomb fucking artillery shells, in a sweeping barrage, right? Isn't that what they call it? Classica, I'm very sorry to hear that you were pushed out of your home. It's very terrible. Chem Goblin is from Ukraine as well. Hopefully you're, getting a little satisfaction, a little schadenfreude here with this operation. I mean, does this operation make you feel good? Chem Goblin and Classical, to the two Ukrainians we got in the chat. Does this operation make you feel good? Tisriel, aren't you from Ukraine as well? I think Tisriel's in here, isn't he? Got one other? Yeah. The Tisriel. Hard to explain. So you're kind of on the fence. So Tisriel, how do you feel about this incursion? Does it make you feel good? Does it up your morale? Or does it like, I don't know, man. It's fucking pretty scary stuff. Russian mill bloggers are claiming that Ukraine has captured the east of river part of Kornivo in Kursk Oblast, taking multiple Russians as POWs. We try to avoid the dehumanizing words, but no problem, Elam. I really hope that Putin will at some day stand trial for what he did. This guy, this is that blue brother. This guy. Oh, fuck, man. You got to do some stand-up. Maybe on a nationalistic level, sure. I just hope it ends well. Right. It's scary. Right. Sorry, bro. It's okay. It's all right. We try to avoid it for everybody, right? Because it's the dehumanization doesn't seem to go too well when it comes to humanity, right? The incursion into Kursk, I feel great. All right, we got one Ukrainians down for it. Big morale boost for sure. Okay, have any of you guys been out and about in the last 5 days? Are the bars bumping? Are people celebrating in the third spaces, the third places that exist in Ukraine? The bars, the social spaces. So here, let's hear from little. So people are really overanalyzing. They're analyzing every little single thing about this. About his facial. Because he has worked very, very hard to train himself to never show emotion on his face, to never let, because a lot of politicians, they're human beings. They have tells, this guy, he's such a dedicated, kind of spy kind of dude. He has trained himself to not emote when he's speaking in public. And that's why people overanalyze Putin so much and is like, what his face is doing and whatnot, because it's like any hint whatsoever, we're trying to get anything. We're trying to get anything from this guy's fucking face.
С председателем правительства мы разговаривали совсем недавно. Будем считать, что решение о единовременной выплате по...
No, Blue Brother, I agree with you 100%. Sorry, you're mistaking my sarcasm for, I agree with you 100%. I'm just cynically making fun of the likelihood that Putin is going to die comfortably, an old man, lionized, by his country and statues and all that, It's going to be easier for the transition government to do to Putin what they did to Stalin, make him into a Russian messiah to continue the project. Fort Walton Bleach, thank you for the follow. He will tragically commit suicide. No. I mean, maybe. I mean, if this, here's the really disgusting thing about the current situation. So Russia's lost about 500,000, roughly, soldiers in this endeavor. Some experts estimate that Putin would have to lose 2 to 3 million Russian troops before Russian people gave a shit. The real question is material. The real question is economy. If the Russian economy goes belly up, if China and India just can't save the Russian economy, that's going to put Putin in danger. But we got a long way. We got a long way. There's some kind of fantasy that Putin is like, oh yeah, he's gonna get assassinated. He's gonna fall off, slip on a banana peel, fall off that hotel balcony. Ain't happening, dog. Ain't happening, guy. This guy probably doesn't take a sip of water out of the fucking, out of a waterfall without having somebody test it first. You know what I mean? This guy's more careful than anybody on planet Earth for assassins and whatnot. Every precaution taken. So this idea that, we're a long ways away from a Putin assassination is what I'm trying to get at.
10 тысяч рублей гражданам, которые в этом нуждаются. Принято, и
there's a lot of rope left on this
необходимые ресурсы будут направлены.
And that's why we need to really get behind Ukraine and really, fucking get in there, dude. Boots on the ground. I think the U.S. needs to put boots on the ground. The fucking U.K. needs to put boots on the ground. Not NATO, but the U.S. needs to nut up and put the Marines on the fucking ground. Okay, because that's the way to win this. Is with overwhelming force, pushing the Russian military back to its borders and saying fuck off. It's the insult of all insults. We're not even going to bother with a nuclear world war with you, bitch. That's the response. Because a war of attrition, an elongated war of I'm afraid of escalating. I'm so afraid of putting boots on the ground. I'm so afraid. What is Putin going to do if we put Marines on the ground? Huh? What's he going to do about it? Oh, it's a war against America. He already says it is, bitch. Basically. Oh, it's official now. Oh, it's official now. Oh, now we're really fighting. Okay. Now what? Well, now we're going to get our asses kicked by you, and we're going to be really pissed about it. Okay. That's the weakness of neoliberal leadership in this conflict is part of Putin's strategy. He expects the West to be afraid of escalation, to not put boots on the ground, even though he would have immediately. He's pulling every card. Getting every country, I bet you he was telling North Korea, hey, do you want to send your troops? You want to get your troops involved? Can we get some North Korean troops here? And, well, we could do some fucking ammo. We can do some missiles and shit, some drones that'll fall apart in midair. We can give you some of those, but no, we're not going to give you any troops. So he depends on the lack of leadership for his strategy to be successful.
Кроме этого, надо будет оценить и другой ущерб. Пожалуйста, вместе с коллегами из различных ведомств, эту работу надо будет провести. Имеется в виду утрата имущества, утрата жилья, уже в полном масштабе надо будет все это сделать. И как в таких случаях я всегда говорю, нужно обязательно работать непосредственно с людьми, доходить до...
Gob, you're not welcome here until you change your name. I know goddamn well you can change your name. You get to do it like once. You get to do it like once every 6 months or something. You can change your username. You're not welcome here with 88 in your fucking name. We're not stupid, asshole. And next time you come back, you're getting banned. Crypto fascists think we're stupid. Think leftists are dumb. And we're not dumb. We're just really high. Okay? Leave us alone. Fuck this piece of shit. $88. It's a well-known hate symbol. 88 is a white supremacist numerical code for Heil Hitler. H is the eighth letter in the alphabet. So 88 equals HH equals Heil Hitler. Okay? They think we're fucking stupid. They think we're fucking stupid. Ooh, baby. God, he looks good. I get it. But what if you happen to be born in 1988? Too fucking bad. They ruined it. They ruined the OK sign. They ruined Pepe the Frog. They ruined numbers. Okay? This is why they need to be fucking destroyed. Period. Fascism needs to be fucking destroyed. Pepe is still funny. I just posted a Pepe meme a couple days ago. It was hilarious. Check it out in the meme section of the Discord. But here's how the Ukrainian military does an incursion. Remember what we saw when Russia goes into a town. Lighting up civilian vehicles. Oh, I'm scared. I don't know. It could be an IED. I don't know. Bah, 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 bah. Killing women and children. Rounding up civilians and putting them in basements. Right? So here's how the Ukrainian military handles this situation, right? So they're rolling in. They're in enemy territory. They're in Russia. These are Russian civilians driving on Russian roads. And here's how the Ukrainian military handles that situation.
Ми – еліта Збройних сил України. Завжди перші. Такими ми були, є і будемо. Слава ДШВ!
Trap music. I love how trap music has become the soundtrack for the Ukrainian war. All right, Elam over here. Elam. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Elam. Great link. They missed shooting all those cars. Isn't that crazy, Crail? They had no. They knew that they were civilians. They knew they were civilians. They didn't shoot them up. They were going for military targets, military positions. They didn't spend time harassing civilians and stealing toilet seats. You get used to the idea of changing the way you say it, or you can put it down on paper really easily. I can't say my name out loud with Americans either because phonetically it's a slur in English. All right. That's a little different. You know, we have people named Dong, you know, in America. We get over it. You know, we chuckle once in a while in private, right? But, you know, there's lots of Dongs in my life, right? Chinese folks named Dong. So, but no, 88, you put 88 in your fucking name. I'm sorry, dog. You don't know what Heil Hitler means. I don't believe it. You're going to the politics section in Twitch and you don't know what 88 means. Fuck off. We're not idiots. Fuck off, fascists. Obama knew. So here we have clearly what we see here, a drone factory from Ukraine using 3D printing to really crank these sons of bitches out. Really something else, man. Who names their child Dick? Unironically just Dick. Hey, man. If it was World War II, I'd want a dick. I'd want a little dick on my side if it was World War II. He'd have a big old burly mustache. He'd be a sergeant. Yeah, man. Dick's on the front lines. I'm right there. I'm right behind Dick. I got Dick's back. Big old Dick. You better watch out. You're gonna get fucked by Big Dick. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. It could be, you know, it's a funny name, but it could also be like, oh, I don't want to fuck with Dick. I'm not fucking with Dick, dude. All right. I don't want to piss off Dick. Makes me think of that Leroy Brown song. Yeah, I love that song. The Russian news reported that these were destroyed Ukrainian tanks in Kursk, Russia. Hours later, the news was updated to read, these turned out to be Russian T-62s destroyed by the Ukrainian military. Ouch. And look at that. They didn't even get the sons of bitches off the fucking trucks. You know this. You know these weren't Ukrainian because they're on truck beds. Sci-fi legend Philip K. Dick. Absolutely, he's a total legend. The Dutch version of Richard, Lucky Martin Boeing, would Would have quote each of these drones for like 20K. Oh, totally. One drone, 20K. Welcome back, Ribbons. Good to see you. But yeah, that's so funny. The Russian propaganda trying to say these are Ukrainian. Smoke didn't even get off the fucking truck. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Yeah. Here we have Ukrainians walking around Russian town. And I had to censor all the dead bodies, all the dead civilians. They were just smoking civilians, actually handing them smokes probably. But no, of course, there's no dead bodies in this video. There's no civilian massacres. Just a lot of fucking Sabbath and Zeppelin and fucking Ozzy, trap music and Black Sabbath, dog. Can you help me? Violent explosions were reported in Kursk 1 minute ago. Ooh. Of course, I know it's going to, can we get some video? Can we get any links? You got a Twitter link? You got yourself a Mastodon link? This national's my ism. Here we go. More of them. There's a Telegram link. Well, if there's no blood, as long as there's no blood and guts, I can show it. Oops. Jeez. These are the trash troops too. Look at these guys. They don't look like trash. Maybe this guy. The hat says a lot. All right, I'm just gonna double check this link here, make sure it's good to go. Sorry, you're just a new viewer, so we can't trust you quite yet. Got to watch out for those beheading videos. Okay, so it's just the live UA map. I haven't showed the live UA map in a minute here. This thing barely runs properly in my computer. All right, so violent explosions, and we don't know what right now. Could be Russia on Ukraine, Ukraine on Russia. We have no idea because I don't have Telegram. They really shouldn't be tying their hands in front of them. Yeah, that is kind of a rookie mistake, I guess, but I don't know. This guy, it's funny, right? Because this guy looks like trouble. Look at his face, and he's the only one with his hands tied behind his back. Isn't that interesting? This guy looks like he's a little bit of a troublemaker. Look at this. His feet in like an attack position. He's ready to spring. He's got shit on his face. He's got a determined look on his face. Look at these other guys. Oh, I don't know, man. I want to go home. Go see my mom. Oh, I don't know, dude. These are fucking lovely lumpkins over here. Fucking Gomer Pyle. This guy, he looks like a strong dude, but he's probably illiterate. And that's not me being Russia-phobic. Look up the stats at the literacy rate in Russia. And I'm one to make fun of literacy, but some of these guys straight up can't read. Yeah, that's funny though. The one guy that looks like trouble. Yeah, 40-year-old men, 20-year-old boys, totally. The one guy that looks like, yeah, dude, he's bowdy about it. They got his hands tied behind his back. That is interesting. I wouldn't have noticed that if you didn't point that out. That is very, because this guy looks like trouble, dude. Yep. Yep. Russia is bombing Suzda with glide bombs. Suzda is a Russian city, so we're already seeing Russia attack its own city. Seems like the best way to destroy Moscow would be to send 3,000 men there, and they'll likely bomb themselves. We got more Aussie? No, okay, silent video. Ooh, that's cold. Thank you for your service, brother. Welcome back. Never forget, brother. There we go. The video of just casually Russia bombing itself. No biggie. Do you need a sippy cup? No, I got my cow tongue. I got a cow tongue. I'm good to go. As a German, I'm well aware of what that number means to Nazis. However, I'd have preferred Blue Brother without any additives to my name. It was already taken, so I had to choose an additive. So born in 88, which was 88 instead of 01. You did block me just because. Well, I would have asked you. So Blue Brother, as a German, would you want people to confuse you for saying Heil Hitler, even though you were saying, do you really want every conversation to be, you're all tripping about, motherfuckers trip for other people. It's ridiculous, dude. Mind your own business. But anyway, Blue Brother, because I respect you, I'll go ahead and respond to you. But would you want, as a German, would you want people to confuse you, you know? Because putting 88 on your name is like putting a swastika on your fucking T-shirt, dude. Oh, no, it's the peace swastika. It's the other way around. Yeah, but you got a German accent, and you're trying to make the peace swastika work. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that confusion. Right? So would you want to confuse people, even though it's my birthday? You're like, oh, well, that's convenient. You know it means Heil Hitler, right? Yeah, I know it means Heil Hitler, but it also is 88. It's because of my birthday. Oh, okay. And you're from Germany, huh? Oh, okay. So you just want that confusion, right? Well, no, that's not me. That's not me. I hate fascism. Oh, okay. But you're just cool with Heil Hitler in your name, though, right? Okay. And if you notice, Blue Brother, I haven't banned him. I gave him a warning and a 10-minute timeout, and then I gave him a 30-minute timeout, which last time I checked is not a fucking ban. So I hope you would I hope you understand that. I'm not a sucker. I'm not a chump. I got to worry about crypto fascists every single time I hit start stream. I'm not letting a motherfucker with 88 in my motherfucking chat. That's the rule, bitch. Sorry, you're not a bitch, Blue Brother. Bitch in general. It's not happening. And I'm sorry your birthday was on 1988. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry the fascists ruined that for you. I am. It sucks. But that shit ain't happening in my chat. I'm not a sucker. Speaking of suckers, Gerasimov ignored warnings of Ukrainian troop buildup near the border. Whoops! Guess we see why Putin was so mad in that meeting. I think I have the video of him getting all crunchy-faced in that meeting. I think it's one of these clips is Putin. Do I have that? Maybe I actually don't. I thought that other clip was that clip of Putin. Yeah, I don't think I have that clip, actually. But, you know, there's a clip of Pooty Poot. Makes a weird face like he let out a fart or something. Shoigu Gerasimov, where's the ammunition? I get it, but will you have asked about my name? Yes, I would have. If you were Blue Brother 88, I would have called you out immediately and kindly asked you. I would have done the exact same thing. And I'd like to remind you, I have not banned that person. I'm still giving that person the benefit of the doubt, even though they intentionally went to the politics section in Twitch. Okay, this isn't just chatting. You got to remember that. This isn't just jerking off. There's no confusion about what's happening here. So this is a very interesting video that I will get to later. Gerasimov ignored warnings of Ukrainian troop buildup near the border, Bloomberg reports. So this is great. Valerie, okay, sorry, beautiful name. Valery Gerasimov, chief of the general staff of the Russian army, appears to have ignored intelligence warnings that the Ukraine's armed forces were gathering near the border of Kursk Oblast, Bloomberg reports on August 8th, citing a source close to the Kremlin. And really, even if it said you didn't believe, some people would still believe you. I know, exactly, Roxofist, like, don't do that to me. Don't try to gaslight me. I know what 88 means. Oh, it's my birthday. Okay, that's exactly what a motherfucking crypto fascist would say. Okay? Can we just remove the number from your fucking name and we can move on with our lives? It's not that hard. I've changed my username on Twitch. I know exactly how it works. It's fucking wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's real fucking easy. 87, 86, I don't fucking care. 89, 90, go crazy. Are we done talking about this yet? Russia's defense ministry claimed on August 8th that its forces were fighting Ukrainian troops in 2 districts near the border with Ukraine. Gerasimov and top officials, quote-unquote, seemingly dismissed intelligence warnings that Ukrainian soldiers were gathering near the border with Russia's western Kursk region as much as 2 weeks before they began the assault. 2 weeks! Oh, that's... Ooh! That stings. 2 weeks troop buildup near the border. Gerasimov just ignores it. That's something else. All right, anyway, there you go. I'm not going to read this whole fucking thing. I don't have time. I got too many clips to go through. But if you want to read the whole thing right here. Boo-boo time. 2-week prep time. They won't attack for sure. No. What if he ignored it on purpose? Uh-oh. You're gonna have to back shit up like that, man. I mean, it's fun to theorize, but if you're trying to make that as a serious point, you got to back that shit up. One of Ukraine's toughest and fastest brigades has joined the invasion. So this is what I'm talking about. The 80th 8th Assault Brigade is equipped for tough, swift attacks. These guys, some of the baddest ass motherfuckers in the Ukrainian military. Apparently, I just found this out recently. I don't see you. You're not there. Exactly. Hey, without self-delusion, how can we have hope? You just got to stay sharp, you know. Don't underestimate the enemy. No, that's true. That's true. I think it was Russia that underestimated Ukraine. I understand, look, there's been a lot of, like, it hasn't exactly been, like, the worst news ever, but it hasn't exactly been, like, major victories. So I understand your trepidation of celebrating and caution. I understand all that, right? But, no, this pretty clear to me. Russia was caught flat-footed, and now they got themselves a boondoggle on their hands. It was intentional to create this boondoggle on Ukraine's side. This is a win. This feels like a win. As long as Ukraine doesn't get pinched and surrounded, and caught, a bunch, caught in a slaughter, hundreds of them getting captured. I mean, the possibility of this operation going belly up is still very real. That's a very real possibility that this operation can absolutely go belly up. So Chem Goblin is right to be trepidatious. But anyway, there is some good news here. Ukraine's taking this seriously. This is not just a flight of fancy. Real planning went into this. They even held back using drones. They had a whole new set of drones that use a whole different frequency range that Russia wasn't prepared for. They didn't use those new frequencies, kind of like the Borg. It's so funny because that's exactly what you do with the Borg. They get used to your phaser frequency, and then it becomes useless. So you got to be careful with how you use it. So they did the same thing. They held onto that frequency range for this operation so that they could catch the Russians even more off guard with their jammers and whatnot. And they have the 80th 8th Air Assault Brigade there, one of the most competent brigades that Russia has, right at the tip of the spear. So they're taking this very seriously. I hear it's all about sugar. What? What, like booger sugar? Like cocaine? So I just can't get enough of these. In this Kursk Oblast resident is complaining that the authorities are lying to them and that no one helped them evacuate. "Quote unquote, people save yourself. No one will help you. They're lying to us on TV, those fuckers." One Russian has one eye open. And once again with the microphone, dog. This is from the 80s. Is this from the same Civil War bunker that they got everything else out of? Not Civil War, sorry. Fucking Cold War.
Там команды стрелять не дают. Ребята видят, они не дают команды стрелять.
Oh, no.
Не дают. Врут по телевизору. Врут.
She can't believe the Russian government wasn't there to help. She just can't believe it. She's complaining that Russian troops didn't get the order to shoot. She's so fucking dumb. She's so fucking dumb. Russia has, I'm sure the border guys have a standing order. Thank you for the follow, Dinner Blot. The border security has a standing order. If you see enemy troops, you fire on sight. You shoot on sight. This dumb. What was that the propaganda going around the Russian networks? Oh, the Gerasimov didn't tell our troops to shoot. That's why hundreds of them were captured. Yeah, no. So fucking dumb. All media mics were sold to the military so they could melt the copper to the... Yeah. So this is just the surplus that they have left.
И врут, твари, все. Второй раз уже разбомбили. Нас 25 июня разбомбили, сожгли дом, сожгли.
Tim Goblin, let me know if I should ban Mr. Dinner here.
Вот теперь снова, опять. Виноваты твари вот эти.
88 Brigade. Kind of an interesting number, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and keep talking about 88, buddy. Get your ass fucking banned. Nothing I love more than fucking flushing Nazis. I'm telling you, dude. I get rock fucking hard flushing Nazis. I get flashbacks to World War II battles I wasn't even part of. He asked what you think about Russians. I think Russia should go home. I have no problem with Russian civilians, except for their political apathy, really. So maybe I take that back. I don't want to see any Russian die, though. And the best way for Russians to avoid death is to get the fuck out of Ukraine. Pretty good way to avoid death and pain right now, if you're a Russian, is to get right the fuck out of Ukraine. Kursk offensive here, Detroit, by the Ukrainian armed forces before the Russians even had a chance to unload them from the truck. So this might be a different angle of that footage that we already saw. I think, because this looks really familiar. Yeah, so I think this is up close. We actually saw, we might have been, the other angle might have been capturing these guys capturing this footage. In defense of that woman, she's having troubles to access any non-propaganda news. Yeah, Blue Brother, I understand that. I understand that. Which is why I think the way that the Ukrainian military is handling this incursion is the right way, without murdering her, without looting her home, without bombing, her and her family, or taking her kid, kidnapping her and putting her in a basement. Yeah, just let her leave. Let her leave and let her be pissed. Let her scream in front of the camera. That's the best. That's the best. She gets to keep her life. She might even get a fucking home to come back to. Once again, go ahead and let me know what this guy's saying. He doesn't even understand English, huh? Okay. All right, so we got, I just wanted, little news clip here from 6 hours ago. Russia declares state of emergency following Ukrainian drone attack. Greetings from south of Boston. It's your boy, Lenny.
Biggest Ukrainian advance in Russia during the war so far. Moscow is sending military equipment to the Kursk region, where a state of emergency is in force. Hundreds of Ukrainian troops poured over the border on Tuesday, although Kyiv has not...
Uh-oh, stream die. Uh-oh, what happened? Uh-oh. Oh, no, I got brigaded by... Did I get brigaded by the fascists? No? No, okay. No, we're still good, boys. We're still here. We're still here. Bit rate's good. Good. Stream's back up. No? Oh, no, it's my internet. No, it's my internet. Yeah, no, my internet. Yep. No, it's my internet. Am I getting doxxed? Oh, please let me know if I'm getting doxxed by the fascists. That'd be really something. That'd be so special. You're doing something right when the fascists are targeting you. Okay, bit rate's back up. Oh my God, I'm spilling water all over my... Jesus Christ. Okay, yep, bit rate's looking good over here, guys. I think we're good. Had a little DDoS attack from the fascists. Ha ha, I got you. That's the fascist celebrating his victory. All right, we're back. All right, there's a little hiccup with my internet. It's fine.
Officially acknowledged the incursion.
Images the Russian Defense Ministry wants you to see.
I don't know, Cam
They
Goblin.
allegedly show Russian jets striking Ukrainian forces on Russian soil.
You can shit on the Nazis all day, as well you should, but you can't underestimate them. They're quite resourceful when they want to ruin someone's life.
Part of Moscow's response to Kyiv's incursion
Free
into the
Palestine,
Kursk
baby.
region.
Whoa!
But
Holy shit! They are literally zip tying these fucking 40-year-old dummy bombs. They're literally just strapping wings to these things. They used to shoot these out of, big expensive vehicles. You know that? They used to shoot them out of fucking tanks and airplanes and boats. Now they just Look at this. They just strap that shit. And you're good to go, dude. Look at this shit, dude. They just retrofitted it, man. Modern tech, this tech, it looks simple. It looks dumb almost. It looks dumb. It looks so simple. But the wings, the materials, the propulsion, you know, the batteries, you know, the energy that it's using, everything, it's all modern tech. It's all modern tech.
Russia's forces are said to be scrambling to contain the Ukrainian offensive. On Friday, the Kremlin said it was sending more military hardware to the region, including rocket launchers, artillery, tanks and heavy trucks. Meanwhile, it was also pulling people out. Moscow has declared a federal-level emergency in the region and claims to have evacuated some 3,000 civilians.
Yeah, you're safe.
At a food distribution center.
You're safe. You're safe. Your family's safe. You might even have a home to come back to.
In the city of Kursk, people arriving from areas close to the Ukraine border said the situation was tense.
My grandfather is still there and I can't reach him. I've applied to have him evacuated, but no answer yet. They just say circumstances won't allow it.
Oh, yeah, that video that was just posted there by Classic. Yeah, we haven't shown it on stream, but it has been in the Discord. I'll go ahead and put it back in the Discord. But that's a fascinating video about a drone pilot that was interviewed. So it's a very good video. Yeah, New York t-shirt. Is that what this is? New York?
All the border areas are currently under bombardment. The people here had to leave their homes because of the bombing.
By all accounts,
Hey, can someone please tell this stupid Russian motherfucker in my chat that Russia needs to get the fuck out of Ukraine immediately? That this is not a pro-Russian invasion stream? Just to make that, can someone make that clear to this dude? Getting a little annoyed. Thank you.
Incursion by Ukraine appears to have been more successful than Moscow would like to admit. This video shows a convoy of 15 burnt out.
Bunch of dead bodies in the back of that truck.
Russian military truck.
HIMARS strike. Just a bunch of tungsten balls ripping through them, dude.
In the Kursk region. Russia's President Vladimir Putin held a meeting with the Security Council again on Friday, his third this week. He's cast the...
Okay, good. So we do have this video here. So this is him with Gerasimov here, Valerie. This is him with Valerie receiving, getting the bad news. This is clearly a theater. I like how he responded to the criticism about him being a coward after COVID, him sitting at the end of a long table. He's got him a little closer now.
Ukrainian offensive as a major provocation.
A little closer.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky,
and what a contrast too. Look at so we see this the cold. I mean, it's almost like it's like a scene out of Star Wars. I wish there was a longer shot of this table, and maybe we'll get one here. But okay, here we go. It's kind of like a scene from the Empire, right? Versus the scrappy, some basement, some bunker somewhere, elbow to elbow, some uncomfortable, this is a normal meeting that humans have. This is the kind of meeting a dictator has, right? The empire has. It's just a generality. It's just just an observation. Don't look too much into it, but I do find that interesting that, this looks like something Darth Vader at the end of the fucking table here. And then you got the rebels all crammed in together with the fucking paper cups and water bottles.
While Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky also held a meeting with his top defense officials on Friday. He said that his army chief had briefed him on, quote, the defensive actions taking place in areas used by Russia to launch airstrikes against Ukraine. Although Ukraine hasn't officially admitted carrying out the cross-border incursion, it appeared to justify the operation, considering Russian troops regularly conduct airstrikes from the Kursk region.
For more, I'm joined now by Domitila Sagramoso, Senior Lecturer in Security and Development at King's College London. It's good to have you with us again.
Let's hear what she has to say.
And Domitila, what more do we know about Russia's new operation to halt these advancing Ukrainian troops?
Well, we don't have a lot of details, but what we have seen is footage of military convoys, which involve light infantry, motorized light infantry with T-62 tanks, artilleries, and rocket launchers. So there is an effort, of course, by Russia to try to send forces, which in many cases is primarily composed of reserve forces, to the area. It is not clear yet whether they are mobilizing forces that are deployed inside Ukraine, which is probably one of the objectives that the Ukrainians were trying to achieve, to ensure that there is sort of a diversion of forces away from the more critical areas on the front lines.
I'm just not even going to entertain that shit. You know what I mean? It's just instant fucking flush. If you're, you know what I mean? I don't even have time for those fucking kooks. Go back to fucking prisonplanet.com, you idiot.
Because this also would take quite a bit of time. But, you know, it cannot be excluded. There are reports that forces are being moved from areas such as Kupiansk, Kharkiv.
Right back. I got something
but
I
I think it's too early to tell exactly what kind of forces are being deployed in that area.
I want to come back to what you said about Ukraine's strategy, but first, this mobilization is coming at the heels of one of the biggest incursions of its kind that in this war so far. What does this tell us about Russia's existing defense capabilities?
Well, it is clear that this was a very weak spot, that Russia hadn't really set up proper defensive lines, proper lines of protection, as they did inside Ukraine, the so-called Surovikin line, which was very well set up with very strong defensive lines, mines, and these kind of fortifications have not been set up in these areas because probably the Russians never thought that the Ukrainians would dare such kind of attacks in these areas. And of course, the Ukrainians try to find these weak points. So it clearly indicates that this is great sort of deficiencies on the Russian side, also because there were intelligence reports that the Russians apparently received that this kind of concentration of forces on the Ukrainian side of the border in the areas, of course, was taking place. But it was dismissed by sort of the higher echelons of the Russian military. So here also we see sort of a weak assessment of intelligence.
Why would you do this?
Coming
okay,
in.
I'll be right back.
So that is also problematic. So we have the combination of these two elements of lack of preparedness and lack of attention of intelligence that is coming up.
Clearly something that Ukraine seemingly has managed to exploit. Thank you so much for that. Dmitry Sagramoso from King's College, London.
And let's bring in now correspondent in Kyiv, Nick Connolly. Nick, do we have any indication of how far Ukraine is trying to go here?
This is a very difficult question, given that there are no independent journalists on the ground. We are relying on either locals, Russian locals in Kursk region posting to social media, which is increasingly dangerous for them. We've had reports of Russian civilians who'd posted videos of the results of Ukrainian attacks being arrested, detained, or the so-called military bloggers. These are Russian bloggers that are close to the Russian military and obviously have an agenda. So there has been talk of the fact that maybe the Ukrainians had initially gone further deeper into Russian territory rather, heading maybe towards the city of Kursk or the Kursk nuclear power station. Now reports that maybe the...
Yeah, no, that was interesting. But the military analysis that I saw just a few hours ago before I streamed is showing that there doesn't appear to be any intention to hit up the nuclear power plant. Welcome back, Woke Patriot. Love to see you. Thank you for coming back. Love to see all you OGs. Thank you so much. Loyal viewers in the News Underground, I do appreciate it. You know I'm a fucking news nobody, but it's the chat that makes this stream what it is, keeps me honest. So thank you for being here. Female eunuchs, welcome back.
Those were just kind of outrider attacks, and they're now focusing more on heading east and west along the border. So kind of a long sliver, a kind of buffer zone along the border rather than going deep into Kursk region. We simply don't know. It seems like there's a lot of opportunism here. That
so that you think this, you legitimate think, that's so funny. You're just trying to be funny. You legitimately think this, so is this region known for sugar production? This Ukraine locking down, no more, that would be funny, dude. If Ukraine was able to stop the production of candy in Russia. No more sweets. Talk about a psyop. No more chocolate. No more candy.
Basically, the Ukraine.
No, classic. No, I don't. No, but if you want to support the stream, we do have a merch store. Check it out. We do have a merch store, and there is some way to donate through something. Hold on, let me find this. I think I have a
side wasn't expecting this to be as easy as it has proven to be. They weren't expecting the Russians to be as unprepared as has been the case, and so they're basically trying to see what they can get and work out on the ground what this is going to be. Are they going to be disappearing back up across the border soon, or is this something where they're going to be digging in to then potentially exchange this territory somewhere down the line?
Will Russia be able to reinforce its defences quick enough?
Well, that's been the kind of very interesting story. Already you've got the blame game running on the Russian side, especially some Chechen units that were meant to be protecting the border, basically coming out and saying, well, the Ukrainians just rushed past us. We tried to defend the border, but suddenly they were behind us inside Russian territory. So seeming
I get $1 whole from those merch sales. But yeah, no, someone used it. Someone donated some money to me through Stream Elements. I forgot that I even had that set up. I'll make sure to have that front and center. So if you want to chip in for the stream, but yeah, no subscriptions. I don't want any of Twitch's money. I don't want any of their advertisers. They don't, I'm not going to argue with this Russian guy who's saying Russians don't support the fucking war, because they absolutely do support the fucking war. Yeah, I will, Lenny, for sure. I know you're interested in that, and I do appreciate your interest in that. Thank you. But yeah, someone did it somehow, so I got to figure out how to do it. I need to subscribe so I can get my 3 months of free Apple TV. I don't want it. It's too much trouble. I don't want it, right? I don't want to take Twitch's money and then, they start advertising on my stream. Right? They start advertising on my stream, and then all of a sudden, Clorox bleach. I always use Clorox bleach, even though it's like an example from the 50s, right? But some company has a problem with how I cover the news, and all of a sudden they're going to Jeff Bezos and like they listen. If an advertiser makes a complaint about a stream, that stream is annihilated within the hour. Okay? If anybody paying Twitch to advertise has a single problem with a single streamer, they report that shit. They're all over that. Okay? So I don't want I don't even want it. I don't even want it, man. Jeff, I'm just happy to be here, Jeff. Keep your money. I know you need it, baby. You need it. I don't need it. Jeff can keep his money. I don't need it.
The defensive lines built by the Russian side here not very effective, unlike those defensive lines that the Russians have built in occupied Ukraine. And it seems like the Ukrainians knew where those defenses were. There seemingly weren't huge minefields, and so they were able to clear those defensive lines pretty quickly and basically overtake any defenses that were there. And we understand, obviously, Russian forces are thinly spread right now. They're trying to attack all across the front lines in Ukraine. So they largely these were, with the exception of those Chechen forces, people doing their military service and kind of local law enforcement rather than kind of battle-hardened troops.
How are people in Kyiv reacting to the developments?
Yeah,
I think it's definitely changed the mood, the tone here in Kyiv. Obviously, there's been months of bad news, not catastrophic, but bad news from the east. And this has shown that Ukraine can, out of nowhere, basically without much in the way of a kind of announcement or the kind of expectations that we had last year of that counteroffensive, basically change the rules of the game and take everyone by surprise. There's also been a lot of kind of happiness here in Ukraine that Western countries have not come down hard on this, have not seemingly tried to stop Ukraine doing this. There've been lots of talk of red lines and Western countries not wanting to provoke Russia. That seemingly is now not an issue. So I think the political side that this shows that Ukraine is not going to be railroaded in some kind of agreement on Russian terms. That is something that people are seeing as incredibly positive here.
Intriguing developments from Nick.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to have a conversation with Hassan. I see that you guys are talking about him there in the chat, but honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I just want to keep it simple when it comes to these. What would we call them? Political celebrities, celebrities politically adjacent. I don't even know what to call them. influencers, political influencers. The only thing I care about is, are you engaging in political activism? Yeah. Can someone please tell this Russian person that I agree with that statement? I bring that up all the time. But the fact is that Russians are not allowed to protest. They get arrested for protesting. So we have no idea how many Russians are actually pro-peace. Mehdi Hasan's great. Yeah, Mehdi Hasan, Zateo, solid news network. That would be a conversation really worth having. I don't know how much it'd be worth having a conversation with Hasan right now. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get Hasan. It's like, are you just not watching the news? Is that it? So anyway, we're watching clips of the battle as it raged overnight. I don't know if this was night 3, day. We've had 5 days of this, so you and Zizek would be funny. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I should try to do some interviews. I really should. Because that would be truly an honor of my life to have a conversation with Zizek. The main thing that I'd want to talk to Zizek about is the connection of the writings of the Marquis de Sade and the current Republican Party. I'd be curious what he has to say about, the similarities between the characters described in 120 Days of Sodom, and the current Republican Party. The pedophilia, the disgusting behavior we're seeing from not just, elected officials, but of course, their followers, the people that adhere to the right-wing dogma. That would be the main question I'd want to talk about with Zizek. So anyway, just really amazing videos. I'm just, like I said, I'm just flying through these clips here. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it, man, because Hasan has the popularity, he has the money, he has time to dig in to these issues, to really have substantive, to like have substantive commentary on the things that he's talking about. And it seems like I do more research, while I'm like watching my kid and like all the news that I'm watching and reading, in any minute that I have free. It seems like I'm doing more research sometimes on some of these topics than he is. And it's like, how is that possible? Is he even married? He has no kids? He's got a boatload of money. Everyone loves him. Thousands of people tune in every time he hits start stream. And what, you don't have a couple hours out of each day to read a newspaper? Some of the takes, man. Lazy. They're just lazy. You got Destiny over here walking all over you, man. Ooh, right there, yeah. So that's some kind of, she got hit by a shockwave or something there. Yeah, you don't want to get near the window. Yeah, Chem Goblin, go ahead and tell me when I should go ahead and ban this Russian fella here. It's clearly he's trying to provoke, or trying to find people that just hate Russia, right? Is that what he's trying to do, right? Yeah, because that's it. Yeah, our panties are in a twist because we just don't like you. That's what's going on. I don't know. The war is not over. No, this is absolutely still up in the air, without a doubt. It's definitely a war of attrition, but this move into Kursk forces Putin's hand in a very interesting way. Next to beds and hotels. Oh, look, I'm not going to kink shame. That's fine. His wife was into it, dude. His wife was into all that kinky, super kinky shit. So, what can poor boy Destiny do, man? Poor boy Destiny. Exactly. Many Russians will answer the question if they support the war with yes, not because they're in favor of the war. They have no idea what's actually going on, but because of any repercussions they would have to face. Yeah, I acknowledge that, Blue Brother. I'm happy to acknowledge that. Yeah. Yeah, Destiny is great. Yeah, he's a crazy guy. Yeah, I like crazy. Yeah, I mean, I disagree a lot with Destiny, but I gotta say I agree with Destiny on a lot of things as well. So, I feel like him and I could get totally fucking trashed and we'd have a good time. I like crazy motherfuckers. That's what we need right now. We need crazy motherfuckers. Right? We're up against a wall of fascists, man. They are there and they are ready to take over and dismantle our liberties. This shit is not a joke. This shit is not a joke. How Hassan makes him money. Okay. They have good idea of what's going on. They have access to internet. Yeah, no, they do know. I mean, some do. I mean, it's, you know, Kim Goblin, that's not you know, look what we have here in America. Same thing. People are totally propagandized in their own little bubble of information. Any general on the planet who thinks there's some winning strategy for Ukraine at this point? Yeah, you're wrong. Give up, give up, give up, capitulate, give up, kiss Putin's ring, bootlick to Putin. Yeah, we get it, bitch. It ain't happening. Got anything else to say? How about you trolley the fuck out of here, bitch, with your defeatism? Give up, give up, give up. You got no hope. Not a general on earth thinks that you're going to win. That's not fucking true at all. But am I going to sit here and defend points against a bad actor that isn't going to acknowledge reality? What a waste of my fucking time that would be, huh? So why don't you get the fuck out of here and save everyone some time? Because that's the goal, isn't it? You just want to waste time. Give up, give up, give up. Yeah, I mean, Davey, ironically, there is a winning strategy for Russia. Just, you know, keep throwing, if they can just make it last, if they can stretch it out. That's the winning strategy for Russia. You know, that's it. And ironically, that's more clear because, and the reason, let me make this clear. The reason why victory for Russia in terms of just stretching it out is more clear than the current, you know, like, what is victory for Ukraine? The reason why that, like, what is victory for Ukraine is even a question is because of the lack of leadership from the United States. You know, tiptoeing, so afraid to escalate. Oh, can't do it. Won't put boots on the ground. Prevent Ukraine from using certain weapons and certain distances. And, oh, we got to be careful. That's why it's murky. If the United States was really in on this shit, if the Western Alliance, you know, like the Western Alliance is, like Poland is, was really pushing on this, putting boots on the ground, there wouldn't be any question about who's going to win and how that victory would be achieved. But because of the lack of leadership, and Putin is depending on this, he knows that if he can stretch this shit out 5, 6, 7 years, just keep throwing bodies into it, 2, 3, 4 million, doesn't matter. If he can just stretch it out, he knows he can outlast the Western democracies because they're cowards. You know, they're you know, I don't know what to say about these global leaders when it comes to Russia. So that's why it currently looks a little bit more clear, because it does, like, there's a clear victory strategy for Russia. Like I said, stretch it out, outlast the West. Oh, we don't have the money for it. The right-wingers and, you know, all the bad actor right-wingers in those various democracies will eventually win out. Right? Sure, we might get another 4 years, maybe another 8 years with Kamala. Hey, we get it. Baldy, what did I tell you? Get your defeatist ass is not welcome here. We get it. We get it. Give up. Give up. Capitulate, bootleg, forget about Bucha, forget about the attempt on Kyiv, forget about the fact that Russia is just going to take what they get. We'll get a couple years of a tepid peace, and then it'll be a fucking hardcore invasion from multiple angles, coming up from Crimea, coming up from the Donbass, coming on down from Belarus, right? All directed towards Kyiv, right? Let's go ahead and ignore all that, right? Bootlick, capitulate. We get it. Leave. It's not working. Not on this chat. Not on this channel. You defeatist. Disgust me. You fucking disgust me. Oh, well, if you really cared about peace, you'd suck Putin's dick. You're pathetic. Have you guys thought about giving up? Have you guys thought about giving up? That would be the right and humane thing to do, right? Lefty, right leftist, who cares about human rights? And Davey joining along with the chorus. You've been hanging around right-wingers too long, Davey. So you're go ahead and laying the foundation for giving up, huh? Pretty pathetic, Davey. No, it's not a win for Ukraine. It's not a win for NATO. It's not a win for the global community if Putin gets a chunk. Maybe if he just gets Crimea. Maybe if he just gets to keep Crimea. Okay. Maybe. All right. But it's not a victory. It's not a victory. It's not. Makes the entire Western Democratic coalition look like weak little bitches that you can outlast, that you can out-brutalize. If you have enough resources, time, and unity with a coalition with China and India, if you have enough unity with enough countries, you can outlast NATO, you can outlast the West, and take what you want. You've been hanging out with them right-wingers too long, Davey. Video of a HIMARS destroying a Russian military convoy in Rylisk and Kursk region of Russia last night. The strike took place 28 kilometers from Ukraine, inside Russia. Wow, look at that. Military ordnance used against military targets. Wow. Maybe the Russian military should take some notes. Of course, we saw Russia retaliate, striking a civilian target, of course. Right? We kill their soldiers, they kill Ukrainian civilians. Yeah, you're pathetic. You're pathetic. You're fucking pathetic, Bulletproof. I'm disgusted at the U.S. for provoking this and Putin for invading. But the bloodshed has to stop. We get it, dude. Give up, give up, give up. It's the only way for peace. I've asked you many times to leave. You've made your point. Suck Putin's dick. It's the only way to win. We get it. You're pathetic. Get the fuck out of here. I know exactly the guy that you like listening to. It's that dude and that chick who are constantly berating about the sanctity of Palestinian human rights, then in one breath, and then in another begging Ukrainians to give up and let Russia invade, talking about how Zelensky is the madman for resisting against Putin's aggression. I can't remember their names, but it's these two Irish parliament members that are always featured on Democracy Now! That are always talking about human rights and human rights and human rights, except when it comes for Russia invading Ukraine. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, Zelensky needs to stand down, and that would be the best thing to do. That would be the best thing to do. If anyone wants peace, that's the right thing to do is just give up. No, not Crystal and Sagar. No. They're not pundits. They're politicians. I don't know why I put a... No, they're all over Democracy Now! I can't find their names, but it's hilarious. I think last year I showed videos of these guys. I used to show them quite a bit because they were standing up. Yeah, this woman right here, Daisy Gideon. So this one right here. In one breath, she will stand for Palestinian solidarity and how dare Israel, right? So here she is standing up for Palestine. But then she'll make an impassioned speech. It'll be pro-Russian, how the Ukrainians need to capitulate, how Zelensky is the madman for standing up and fighting back. I guarantee you it's him and it's her and this other dude. That this guy, because that's the narrative, right? Oh, well, I mean, I don't like any of it. I mean, clearly Russia was provoked by NATO. I mean, clearly they had no choice but to line up their troops on the border and try to spearhead towards Kyiv. Clearly they need a buffer zone. They deserve a buffer zone. Fucking says who, by the way? Wouldn't that be cute if America declared a buffer zone and we took like the first 50 miles of the Canadian border? We just took it. Oh, because we feel unsafe. We feel so scared. And imagine peaceniks coming out and defending that shit. Oh, well, America was scared, so, if human rights was to be respected, then Canada just needs to capitulate and let America take that little sliver of Canada. I mean, really, they shouldn't fight for it. It's really, Trudeau is really a human rights a monster for sending Canadian troops to fight against the super strong Americans. It's pathetic, defeatist talk like that allows the Putins of the world to operate. And it disgusts me. It fucking disgusts me that it's cloaked in this leftism, in this fake leftism. Oh, we care so much about human rights, but, give Russia a break. You want to come in the chat, and let me guess, if I didn't ban that person would just be every 5 minutes. Oh, well, Ukraine should give up. Oh, well, that would be the best idea. Ukraine should give up. That would be the common sense thing. There's no general on earth that thinks Ukraine's going to win. Yeah, give up, give up, give up, give up, give up, give up. Yeah, we get it. It's not working. I already shown that clip. Russia's airbase outside of Moscow in Lipsk, Russia, was destroyed by Ukraine during the night. Yikes. That's an oof. Yikesos. Oh, yikes. Ooh, time to go. Let's get into my $10,000 Japanese or Chinese ripoff Toyota. What even brand is this? What is this? What vehicle is this? A good look at it there. Oh, we can't get a good look at it. A Toyota kind of looks like a Toyota, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Russia in counter-terror mode over Ukraine attack. So isn't that funny? Russia coming out and saying, this is provocative. This is provocative. Irony died. Irony died because Putin killed it. Putin fucking poisoned irony with a fucking poison, plutonium or whatever the fuck he poisons people with. Palladium. What did he poison Navalny with? That radiation? That's what Putin did to irony. Put it in a gulag. Polonium, was that what it was?
And we turn now to events in Russia, and Moscow is introducing strict new security measures in 3 regions bordering Ukraine in response to this week's surprise incursion by Ukrainian forces into the Kursk region. Now they should
nuke Kursk. That would show Ukraine. Drop a nuke on Kursk. What would you do? Could NATO respond if Russia nuked itself? Could NATO respond? I mean, they could say technically the radiation travels in different directions, right? But what if Russia nukes itself? Do we respond? Do we respond? I don't think we respond. I think we just stand. Is there a way geopolitically to respond with stunned silence and just like look at them like they dropped a nasty fart at the cocktail party?
Also concerns from the UN nuclear agency, which has urged both sides to exercise maximum restraint as fighting moves closer to a nuclear power plant. Well, fighting's been raging since Ukraine's army launched its surprise incursion this week, with reports suggesting that they could be operating up to 30 kilometres inside Russia, with intense fighting close to the town of Suja. Francis Reid reports.
Filmed from a
the
dashboard,
civilian population is
then uploaded
absolutely
onto social
responsible.
media, abandoned and burned.
No, the civilian population is 100% partially responsible. I'm sorry, that's confusing. The civilian population is absolutely somewhat culpable. Their apathy, the apathy of the Russian civilian, is the reason why Putin enjoys the power that he enjoys. So now the American people are guilty of apathy and allowing the American government to kill Vietnamese people unnecessarily, Iraqi people unnecessarily, Afghanistan people unnecessarily, Cubans unnecessarily, etc., etc., etc. The civilians, not 100%, but they're every government that derives its power from its population, so every government, every country, right? Russia wouldn't be able to do what it's doing if the Russian people stood up against it en masse. That's a fact. And that's a fact for America. That's a fact for every country. If there was a major civilian revolt, right? We pay our taxes. We allow these governments to tax us. We give them our money, right? They give us all kinds of things as well. It's a quid pro quo. But one of the reasons why I'm eventually going to be giving up my U.S. citizenship once I've become a citizen here in Canada is that I no longer want my tax dollars to contribute to the military-industrial complex. I am partially responsible. Every penny in taxes that the federal government has ever taken, I'm partially responsible for the murder and violence that the military-industrial complex has perpetuated. So yeah, it's completely ridiculous to be saying that the Russian civilians are totally innocent. Could someone, condense that, send it on over to Mr. Ruski? I know, Chem Goblin. I'm about to ban this guy. I'm really, it's frustrating. He just wants to spread propaganda one way. Canada almost always contributes to the wars that the U.S. starts. Yes, I'm aware of that. Yeah. Davey, if you could go ahead and point out a country that is completely disconnected from the world, from the Western consensus, from everything. If you could go ahead and tell me that country. Is it the country of Davey? Can I live with you? Can my family move in with you, Davey? Under your sovereign utopia. All right, we're done. Thank you so much. We're officially done. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Burned Russian troop carriers in the Kursk region. The person who posted these pictures has since been arrested, but the BBC has verified the footage.
Oh, yeah,
Ukrainian assaults on Russia started on Tuesday and seem to have come as a surprise. Several villages have been seized. This footage from the Ukrainian military is purported to show Russian soldiers surrendering. Reports suggest the focus is happening just north of Ukraine, with fighting thought to be concentrated near the town of Suja. Moscow says up to 1,000 Ukrainian troops are involved in a region which contains a nuclear plant. The UN nuclear agency has urged restraint, but the astonishing images of Russian jets bombing Russian territory seem to run counter to the Kremlin's official narrative that the war in Ukraine has been going to plan. President Putin holding a meeting with his Security Council. It's calling the Ukrainian incursion terrorism. And Russia is now bringing in reinforcements. But
no, it's way too low.
Act goes unpunished. A Russian missile attack on a supermarket in the eastern Donetsk region has proved fatal, although it's not clear whether it was a direct response to Ukraine's cross-border.
Right, and we got the bastards in the chat, right, from Ireland. Oh, well, you know, I don't have any skin in the game here, but I think we should really capitulate to Putin over here. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do. Ukrainians haven't killed civilian one, invading Russia. Russia intentionally. A Russian general, a Russian official looked at a map and said, yep, right there at this time, there's going to be dozens of civilians there. Take out this grocery store. Fire this multi-million-dollar fucking missile. Take it out. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's kind of both sides, isn't it? I mean, really? I don't have any skin in the game, so I think Ukrainians should give it up. I'm supposed to let that fester in my chat like fucking mold in the fridge, huh? Stinks already, but I'm supposed to let it linger. Oh, we should give up, right? That's the right thing to do. Give up, right?
Assault.
Pathetic.
Anya was there. We started climbing out of the window, she says. We were barely outside when everything started burning.
This is a
I
Naruto
started running
fan,
one way,
for
my
God's
colleague
sakes.
ran the other way.
She's just like us. She's just like us. Jesus Christ. Is there any question? There's not a fucking doubt in my mind what the right strategy here is. Now look, Ukraine without the aid, you got to start talking about capitulation. Oh, be quiet, Chem Goblin. You're over here defending macaroni hair, but then you dissing on anime fans? How dare you? How dare you? But no, look, if the situation was different, if there was absolutely no way for Ukraine to win this, you know what I mean? If there was like legitimately no way out, I would be talking about that. I'm not delusional. That is not the case right now. That is not the case. It could be argued that one of the strongest, most aggressive, most successful militaries on planet Earth is the Ukrainian military right now. If you're like a military guy, seeing these guys getting starved for ammunition and lack of leadership, losing because of lack of leadership, must be incredibly frustrating, because this is a winning military. This is a rocket ship that goes straight to the fucking moon. All you need is fuel. Give up, give up. Oh, wouldn't it be better to give up? That'd be human, right? That'd be what the human thing to do. Let the bullies win. You know, it's like when you see a bully start attacking another guy, and you're like, oh, everyone stop fighting. Both sides. How about you go after the aggressor? How about instead of trying to, oh, stop. The fighting makes me uncomfortable. I don't like to see it. I don't care who started it. I don't care any of that. I just don't like to see people fight. The context is important, especially when it comes to when an army invades your country, dog. Yeah, female eunuchs. Sometimes it works out that way. And sometimes it's not fair. Right? You know, it's a situation at school is a little different than one country invading another, but hopefully we get the connection there.
I started running one way, my colleague ran the other way. Ukrainian emergency services
Blue
have been
Brother,
searching
100%.
through the rubble for signs of
100%.
life. No respite for those living this reality. Francis Reed, BBC News.
I mean, somebody kicking down my front door, someone bombing my family, I'm fighting back. Okay, and you're telling me, oh, well, you know, if you cared about human rights, you wouldn't fight back. I'm bitch slapping you, dude. Right? So I empathize with the Ukrainian people 100%. I put myself in their shoes and I say 100% I'd support resistance.
And we can speak now to our Kyiv correspondent, James Waterhouse. James, good to have you with us. Are we any clearer as to understanding what Ukraine's aim here is in this surprise incursion?
I think if you look at the pictures you've just seen, I think that reflects what Ukraine was after in the short term, at least. Russia is...
strategy member, we debate all the time on this fucking channel, but this is not a debate bro channel. I think that's what you're trying to say. But we are constantly fucking debating, slowing down the stream to have discussions about what's right and what's wrong. Am I wrong about that? We're debating all the time, dog. Am I wrong? You motherfuckers in the chat are constantly arguing with me. I'm constantly having to defend my points and like back it up with evidence and, you know, like, oh, I don't know about that. Oh, okay, well, let's look at, you got some evidence? You post some evidence, I look at it. We're debating all the time in this chat, right? Yeah, but I'm not a debate bro. That shit is a complete waste of fucking time. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. Yeah, exactly, Davey, exactly. Yeah, so I know what you're trying to say, strategy, but I just wanted to make clear, right? Because debate is essential. I want real debate, dude. You know, if I want to debate somebody, I want there to be a moderator and a fact checker. Is that too much to ask? Really? I just have to sit there like a fucking seal and let this bad actor gish gallop his way to a fucking supposed victory? Oh, you got owned, bro. Oh, you got owned. Immigration bad, bro. What a waste of time. Yeah, that's why the chat's, yes, exactly. Y'all are regulators. You got to regulate because the bad actors are so rife. You know, you got these ignorant, you got these ignorant, that's hilarious. You got these useful idiots. Right? They're bad enough. Right? It's just they don't get it. They don't want to get it. They got the wrong idea. They're not changing their mind. They're useful idiots. But it's the bad actors. 88's my birthday. 88's my birthday, dude. 88's my birthday, bro. Right? Anyway.
Is putting more and more resources into trying to contain this offensive. We've seen a lot of men and machinery moved in the direction of Kursk and neighboring regions along the border as Ukrainian forces seemingly take more and more territory. And they've even been frustrated in that endeavor.
Yeah, quick double
with
tap.
One convoy certainly being
I don't understand
destroyed.
it.
And now
I don't understand it.
What's being described as a counter-terror operation.
I don't exactly agree with peace through strength, I guess, right? Because that's a great way to justify the current American military-industrial complex's entire geopolitical dogma, right? Yeah, that's what they try to say is the justification for their aggression. I don't necessarily agree with peace through strength, but I don't agree with, you know, like I said before, letting bullies walk all over you. It's absurd. It's absurd to not respond to this.
Terrorism operation by the Kremlin, which gives powers for cars to be searched, for phone tapping, for vehicles, the movement of vehicles and people to be extremely limited. This is something Russia is having to take seriously.
Without question.
And I think for Ukraine, the hope is that it will relieve pressure on the front lines on its own territory, where it is Russia.
I don't remember the person, Davey. I kind of vaguely remember who you're talking about, though.
Continuing to advance. It's important not to understate how significant this week has been, because this has been a war, certainly for Ukraine, of grueling familiarity. And here we've had this sort of strange inversion where you have the sight of Russian civilians reacting with fear and anger in some cases and leaving their homes. This is something that we see
There wasn't a body
Ukraine.
under that one. There's been a lot of nasty, nasty drone footage I've seen on Twitter lately, dude. I mean, it used to be really rare to see, even in like the World War II footage, like you see a lot of dead bodies, but you would rarely see somebody shot and bleed out and then like have their last breath and die right there in front of the camera, you know, like the whole thing. And now that because of drones, right? They go low, drop the bomb, back up, guy gets blown up, then the drone slowly goes back in. And you see every agonizing second of these fucking guys. And it's like, it's commonplace now, man. I don't even know how to, it gives me shivers. It's just like how that, it's the violence has always been there, but it's part of my feed. It's part of my algorithm. You know, I'm like scrolling through and it's like, it's part of my daily life. And I know that I'm doing that to myself. I could ban it. I choose not to, all that, etc. But it's just like such visceral violence. Casually part of your social media algorithm. It's it really is wild.
Continually, and it really has sort of shaken things up in that respect.
Yeah,
Ukraine
they're showing the
stakes, and in this war of territory, where Russia often talks about wanting Ukraine to concede land in exchange for peace. Well, now Ukraine controls a chunk of Russian territory. It really is a high stakes move. And it could.
And that, you know, the desensitization is very real, which is why I'm always trying to, like, you know, even if they feel arbitrary, but like checking it, you know, like trying not to use dehumanizing terms, right? It's just like, even though it just seems like futile, why not embrace it? But no, it's like we gotta keep checking ourselves. These are human beings. We got to remember why we're doing this. And I beg and plead. I swear to God, if there was anything I could do on planet Earth to convince the Russian government, the Russian military, or the Russian people that this is a slaughter of epic proportions, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy, getting your face inverted from a grenade, you know, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And if there was anything I could do in my power to prevent it, to stop it, you know, like instantly I would do it, right? But logically in my head, the only way to stop this is to resist it, and to resist it aggressively. You know, any territorial gain will be seen as a massive victory for this strategy. Crimea, even if it's Crimea, he'll be like, yep, it was worth it. 500,000, 1 million, 2 million deaths, however many Russians are dead at the end of this. Yep, it was worth it. Yep, we got Crimea. It was worth it. We put up statues all over Crimea to honor the dead. Totally worth it. You know, that's the lesson that's going to be learned. And not just Putin, but the Russian government in general. They do little calculations. Okay, well, you know, it's going to cost us about 1.2 million to take the rest of Belarus or the rest of Moldova. You know, okay, that one might be 2 million. Okay, we'll get those lined up, right? They'll just change their calculations. Yep, if we enter a war of attrition with the West and we calculate it just like, you know, if we use numbers similar to the Ukraine one, after the West capitulated after 6 years, they just ran out of steam and stopped funding Ukraine. All right, we got to ride around that time. Okay, that's how much it's gonna, right? They just start recalculating. This is how we get our victory. This is how we expand the Russian Empire. And because that is the goal, man. It sounds crazy. It sounds like Dr. Evil shit, but no. Does anyone disagree that Putin's goal is to expand the Russian Empire? Does anyone believe this buffer zone bananas nonsense?
You know, we are still talking about Ukrainian forces that are overstretched, so it's been an extraordinary few days.
It has indeed. Briefly, if you don't mind, you were just mentioning there how high stakes all of this is. Do we have any kind of intelligence as to understanding whether Ukraine can continue this incursion in Russia whilst also trying to hold the front lines in its own country?
We don't. I mean, at the moment, the colonels and generals and senior officers are being incredibly tight-lipped about this operation. But what we understand, what we can glean from the front lines, is that the issue of military aid.
Yeah, okay. I'm reading everyone's chat. Yeah, Woke Patriot. Yep. You know, and yeah, I'm reading everyone else's stuff here.
After political disagreements among the West, that's partially been resolved. Equipment is arriving on the front line, but Ukraine is grappling with its own.
Put me to sleep. Let's go ahead and take a look at this link from the Washington Post. Ukraine appears to expand Russia's incursion. Oh, God damn it. I knew this was going to happen. Hold on 1 second. We're going to go to the Pirate Bay, download a torrent of this article. Ukraine appears to expand Russia incursion into morale boost for Kyiv. I was just joking, by the way. I know I was using those terms incorrectly. Chem Goblin over here. What? That's not what a torrent is. Wait, what are you talking about? Calm down. I know. Ukrainian forces have continued to push deeper into Russia, further signaling this operation wasn't a short raid, but a rather potential occupation. Hell yeah, boy. Hell yeah, boy. Woo. And watch, that Ukraine should do that. Ukraine should do a legit referendum. Do you want to join Ukraine? Ask them, nicely ask people to vote. I don't really, give people food. Give people food for when they vote or something, right? You give them like a little care package when they vote. Record turnout for the first time in Kursk history. But I question whether Putin wants to restore USSR borders. Give them 3 potatoes. Yeah, Lenny, good news. The F-16s are there. We've had Zelensky do a speech in front of them. We're not certain if the F-16s are being used. We only have anecdotal evidence. But the F-16s are there. They got them. Okay, interesting stuff. Thank you for this link. Who gave me this link? Strategy member. Thank you very much. Ukraine's surprise invasion of Russia stretched into the 5th day Saturday, and what analysts and Western officials said increasingly looked like a prolonged operation to divert Russian forces, raising questions about Kyiv's ultimate aim as its forces push deeper into Russia's Kursk region. All right, so there you have it, folks. Not just a stoned idiot on Twitch here, but actual people who write newspaper articles. Isabel Kirshduyan and Anastasia Glokchikia. The move has turned the tables of this war on Moscow, which invaded Ukraine more than 2 years ago and has been a morale boost for Ukrainian forces after Russia previously gained the strategic initiative on the battlefield. It can only be used as leverage in potential future negotiations with Moscow to end the fighting, analysts said. Quote, "It's not a raid. This is something different," said Andriy Zagrondnik. Ukrainians, maybe Russia should take you guys over and just give everyone Steve and Greg names. Everyone's Steve and Greg. I can't say your names. They're hard. Zagrogdanik, former defense minister and chairman of Ukraine's Center for Defense Strategies, an independent think tank. Quote, It's not a question about staying there forever or for a long time. It's an issue of trying to stretch out their forces." Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. He added, "I doubt that Ukrainian leadership has these plans to occupy Russian territory and to hold it indefinitely." Exactly. It's pronounced just like it's spelled. I'm not a smart person. Things should be made easier for me. Don't clip that. So there it is. Exactly what I was talking about, right? Like the idea, how long can we stick this out? Let's turn this into, that is one funky name. No, you're not. But no, how long can we turn Kursk into Bakhmut? Can we pull Russian forces away from critical areas in the Ukrainian front line? And my God, you would hope that if that's the case, that the Ukrainian military's got a little something in their pocket to take advantage of that situation. Because that would truly be the chef's kiss, right? Russia has no choice. Pull away from somewhere. Ukraine immediately capitalizes. Takes back a nice chunk of Ukrainian territory, right? Oh. Let's see it happen. So this is what I was talking about. This is the link, I believe, from Chem Goblin. Maybe. But thank you all the same for everyone who contributes in the Discord. You know who you are. Thank you. Russia tortures over 95% of Ukrainian POWs, says the UN Monitor. Do not post. Okay. It was me. So this number, it's not a Ukrainian number. It's a UN number. 95% tortured, starved, sexually, you know. We saw an interview recently with a female Ukrainian soldier who was traded in the POW exchange. And it's just like, she probably doesn't want to get into it, right? I knew he'd clip it. I knew he would. Hold on a second. A smart person. Things should be made easier for me. Okay? I was born in America, okay? It's my American right for everything else to get stupider because I refuse to get smarter, okay? That's why I pay my taxes. UN official in charge of the human rights monitoring mission in Ukraine described Russian torture of Ukrainian prisoners or POWs as, quote, the worst she has seen in her 20-year career. Oh, give up. Just give up. If you care about human rights, you'd give up. Zelensky's the real monster. And can you believe how badly NATO treated Russia? I mean, basically, this is justified. I'm not saying that it's justified. I would never admit that that's the argument that I'm making. I would never admit that that's the argument that I'm making. But it's basically justified if you think about how bad NATO treated Russia. Meanwhile, Russian POWs looking rosy, chubby cheeked, you know, buttholes all secure, haven't been raped, right? Another clip. I can't watch every one of these. I was born in America, okay? It's my American right. Yes. For everything else to get stupider because I refuse to get smarter. Yes. Because I'm proud to be an American. Because at least I know I'm free. Except for all the rights that they want to take away from me. So no, this is disgusting. And once again, this is, you know, if I let that bad actor from Ireland stick around, do we think this evidence would sway him? And you know, oh, well, that's really bad. Both sides. Or do we think that's the direction? Oh, well, both sides. I heard it. I heard one time in, you know, what is it? Donbass. I heard, you know, Donbass, Ukraine killed Russian civilians. And so it's both sides. It's both sides. Yeah, Lee Greenwood, that's his one song. It's a good one. You only need one. You only need one. But do we think this evidence would have swayed Mr. I care about human rights? Oh, I'm making this argument for human rights purposes. Should I unban him? Should I unban him? So he can give us his opinion? Is he still here? That Russian guy is still here. What was his name? Started with a B. I think he's gone. No, he's gone. Fuck him. I guess I should let these guys stick around a little bit longer. They just piss me off so much, you know? They piss me the fuck off. But I guess I shouldn't ban them so quickly. The situation in the Kursk Oblast encourages residents to join the fight and destroy the Russian army. Look, I mean, more power to them, but the Russian government doesn't fuck around. He made a new account. It's hard to tell the difference. You know, it's hard to tell if they're even different people because, like, the opinions are so rote. They're so, like, generic. Anyway. But look, these guys, I guess their heart's in the right place. They're definitely smart enough to be wearing masks, but Russia will still track their ass down. Great point, quick double tap. Kursk region resistance is on the line. Interesting behavior, though. Is there any videos of Ukrainians doing this even during the invasion? Because I know there were some people, there was, you know, some Ukrainians that were like, couldn't really give a shit if it was happening or not. But were there like, you know, like, were there Ukrainians that were like, oh yeah, we're the hidden Z army, we're joining the Z occupation? Was that happening in Ukraine? Because this is really interesting to me. You know, Ukraine temporarily occupies this region for, you know, a couple weeks, maybe, who knows? And these dudes are like, oh yeah, finally, oh thank God, we can have a political opinion now. We got to be careful about it though.
Также обращаемся к нашей армии. Ребята, вам здесь
they're Georgians, okay.
У нас никогда не было проблем с украинцами. У нас никто никогда
no one's ever fired us before you got here.
Вы приехали из своих теплых мирных
warm, peaceful homes.
Здесь за бабки, потому что нихуя не хотите, не умеете делать у себя дома. Уебывайте нахуй с Курской области. Вас здесь никто не ждет. Также хотим поблагодарить наших друзей из украинского ССУ.
So that, I thought he was. For a second there, I thought he was talking to the Ukrainian military. Is he saying that to the Russian military? Get the fuck out.
Которое мы используем по назначению. Ребята, кто из Курска?
Yeah, Mitsu, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. That's how. How did we? What was that?
Opera.org.ua. Просто укажите, что вы к нам.
That was the one city. Kherson, yeah, thank you, Chem Goblin. You know exactly what I was thinking of. That was the one city that Russia was able to successfully take because the mayor was corrupt, right? And he basically let the army in. A lot of partisans, yeah. Streets over there are definitely going to get in this fight. Yeah, dude. They're hungry. They're hungry for this. And it makes perfect sense. I mean, living under... welcome back, Evan. Living under the Russian government must feel stifling. Must feel totally stifling. So I could see this and be like, yeah, hell yeah, let's fuck shit up. Let's get it, boys. So this video is bananas. Okay, this video is something else, dog. All right, let me get some music going here for this one. So these guys, no, that's DMCA. So this first one, you know, just a direct hit. This one's wild. No, not this one. Okay, no, not this one. Is it this one? No, not this one either. Nope. Okay, after this. Yeah. So we just see the aftermath of that one. So look at this. Okay, so this is wild, right? These guys do evasive maneuvers. He's got you like and if you look really closely, they're like their doors are open. They're desperately trying to slow down and get out of the vehicle, and they're very smart for doing that. It's interesting to see the evasive maneuvers will work, right? So he's desperately trying to like, but not flip over, right? Causes the drone to miss, comes around for a second pass. These guys are already diving in the ditch. Wow, dude. Wild. Really, totally wild shit. Could you imagine? And this is how expensive is this drone? We saw the drone factory, right? We saw the drone factory. $500? $500? Right? We got Darwin. It's probably Darwin down in some bunker somewhere. Has to whip around. These guys diving. Ah, get the hell out of here. Direct hit. There it is. And that's the result. You know, that's the result. Smart move. Who knows? I don't know if those guys are still there. Are these guys still in the ditch? You're totally vulnerable to the follow-up. They might have been smoked right there with follow-up drones. Let those people go. The vehicle's the main target. Leave them without weapons. They might surrender. If they don't drop their weapon, raise their hand, they're a legitimate target strategy member. That's fucking war. Do we think Russia, you know, offers the same? I agree with you, but until the hands are up, the weapon is thrown away, the hands are up, and you're walking towards enemy lines in a surrender posture, you're still fair game. But I have footage. I have footage of a Ukrainian drone operator being merciful to a soldier that is clearly surrendering. Question is, why aren't those masked folks from the previous video joining FORL or RCV? I mean, who knows? It's risky, Mitsu. I agree with you. They should, you know, if you're going to go this far, you might as well just join the Ukrainian military, right? I think that's what you're implying with those terms. Videos of Ukrainian soldiers in Russia's Sudza appears online. Sudza appears online. No official comment. So this was geolocated. I saw a military analyst show several other tweets to prove that they were at this location. We don't have a lot of information. Things are still kind of, you know, very dynamic. So we don't have a lot of information about where exactly the Ukrainian military is, how they're expanding. Hey, Blue Brother, once again, thank you so much. And hey, I do appreciate your comments on banning people with numbers in their name. I appreciate that, but I hope you appreciate that I have to be careful about crypto fascists. So thank you again for coming in. They were promoting, it's a big organization, I feel like. Oh, okay, cool. You know, good. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, these organizations, they have to exist, these underground, you know, Russian political organizations that are against Putin for various reasons. They have to exist. You see the video of the drone chasing the Russians through the woods? No, I haven't seen that one, Arbitoire. Is it too bloody? Can I not show it? I'll put it in the Discord if I can't show it. So I was literally just talking about this clip. Here, you know, we see an injured Russian surrendering in a surrender posture. I don't think he can run. I don't think he can move. I think if you see, there's like a wound on his right leg. He's down. And he's giving away. He's actually pointing to his fellow soldiers, which, I mean, that's, yep. He's literally praying. Look, he's hit though. He's hit right here. There's some gore. There's definitely a little blood here. Not gore, but blood, I mean. But he's like, fellow, you know, that's how you surrender, you know? Oh, okay. I'm done. I'm done fighting. The rest of my troops are over there. I'm giving you credible military information. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna cherry coat things here. Sometimes the Ukrainian military will still kill individuals that are doing this. I haven't seen any video evidence of that, but that's, you know, they don't. It's not like they released that footage to the press, right? The Ukrainian military picks and chooses the footage that it puts out, right? It's not just, you know, anything goes. So they'll show this video, say, hey, aren't we merciful? Look at this. We're not dropping a grenade on this guy. We're letting this guy surrender. But I'm certain there's dozens of videos of Ukrainian drone operators. It's like, no, we're not going to be able to rescue you. We're finishing you off. We're killing you. This guy might have been killed later. We don't know. So I just want to make that clear. This is not a perfect... Ukrainian military is not perfect. I think he is symbolizing a please go there. I need help, just please. He's begging for his life, and well, according to the Twitter folks, which could be fake information. This action right here, he was pointing towards other Russian soldiers. This is a pretty clear gesture right here. It's risky before the incursion for sure. Now it's as easy as contacting Ukrainian soldiers, though they could be on the other side of the oblast, I guess. You talking about getting footage? I mean, praying is more of a please. Okay, strategy. Okay. I think I agree with you. I agree with that. All right, so I just had a few of these, you know, we looked at DW, we looked at the BBC. Let's go ahead and see how France 24 is covering this.
Well, first off, what it tells us is the level of chaos that this surprise incursion
Why is he giving himself a high five?
Russian
Have a grenade.
Created in Moscow. Now, when Moscow announces those counter-terrorism operation, it means that authorities will have extended powers, decision powers, and also power, for example, to evacuate tens of thousands of people. You've mentioned this figure of 76,000 civilians being evacuated from the front line. We have to imagine what it means in terms of logistics as well, but also how chaotic and how confusing this must be on the Russian side, because it is the first time that the war, the Russo-Ukrainian war, is coming within Russian territory. Yeah. So that says a lot.
Hey, look, does it suck? Yeah, you know, does it suck? It totally sucks. You know, these poor kids. You know, kids are eternally innocent no matter what the situation is, right? So I don't like to see it. I prefer to see this than dead kids at a supermarket, which is how Russia retaliated. Ukraine went in and attacked soldiers, military targets, and you know didn't rake civilian vehicles with automatic weapon fire. You know, so these people get to live. These people get to continue on. There's a lot of Ukrainians that don't.
About how unprepared Russia was for those incursions that took everybody by surprise, not just Russia, but also international observers, commentators. Nobody was expecting that move from Ukraine. It's the fifth day of fighting, and it goes on. According to the Institute for the Study of War, which is an international think tank based in Washington, this fighting continuing up to 25 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border within the Russian territory, with Russia drawing in reserve troops as well to try and respond to those incursions. We had talked about the strategies, the possible strategies.
Wow, that's an interesting shirt. That's the Scream, except there's a cat. It's a kid. It's a kitty.
Incursions. We had talked about the
very interesting shirt from this Russian person here.
Strategies, the possible strategies.
And a New York cap. Weird, dog. Weird.
By Kyiv, which were to divert some attention from the front line and also to maybe have some bargaining power if it manages to retain those territories, should negotiations come between the two countries at some stage.
And Emmanuel, right now you are joining us from Kramatorsk in Donetsk. That is the oblast, the region which has experienced that blast on a shopping center. That was just yesterday. It killed several people. Just tell us about the situation on the front lines for Ukraine, because as much as they're going into Kursk, they still have to defend their own sovereign territory from the Russian invasion.
Absolutely. And to give you an idea, you've mentioned I was in Kramatorsk this morning, early in the morning, towards 6 a.m. Kramatorsk was shelled. It woke everyone up this morning. Several explosions. One person died because a critical infrastructure was hit, a power station. Most likely, several people were injured. Last night in Konstantinivka, which is just half an hour's drive away from where I am, and where I went.
Give up. I mean, you don't want Putin to do this again, do you? Oh, we should be scared.
Today, to bear witness, 14 people died, 43 people were injured when a supermarket and a post office were hit by a Russian missile. And
he could have hit anything. You know, he could have chosen to hit anything. And the Russian military, the Russian government approved it, and the Russian military said, no, hit this civilian target when it's filled with civilians. I'm telling you, it's all about the sugar. Might be onto something.
Just this afternoon, I was going through Liman when it was also bombed by Russia. You could see columns of dark smoke. So the war is very much a daily reality for Ukrainians who have been bearing the brunt of this war, waged by Moscow. And here too, you have evacuations. Yesterday, I was reporting on evacuations taking place in the Pokrovsk direction. That is one of the hotspots of the front line there. there also thousands of people,
First they went after oil
children
refineries.
as well, are fleeing the approaching.
This isn't food production, dude. This is the final leg. This is about killing human beings. If you want to go after food production, then obviously you'd go after a grain silo or something like that, some kind of transportation and a collection of the food. You don't go after a fucking grocery store.
The advances of the Russian troops, and their civilians at least cannot feel yet any effect that those Kursk incursions may have on this front line.
Yeah, just-in-time distribution. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for, just-in-time distribution. You're not going to go after that final leg of the logistics chain. You're going to go a little bit further in, right? Russia sending in tanks to try and deal with Ukraine's incursion. Keep trying, baby. Keep sending them in. We'll blow them up. Keep coming. Keep them coming, Daddy-O. Keep them coming, Daddy-O. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Russia, you have no choice. Just, annihilate Kursk. Annihilate it. Just do to Kursk like what you did to every other frontline Ukrainian city. Do it. They're kind of in a rock and a hard place, right? Because they're going to try to avoid that. They really don't want to do that. But their military doctrine kind of depends on them doing that. So Ukraine, that's another opportunity for Ukraine to kind of take advantage. But yeah, I doubt Kursk is the only place in Russia where sugar is processed. Yeah, this is stupid. The sugar idea is dumb. Motherfucker talking about sugar. No more sweets. Get the sugar. They won't know what hit them. Mind you, this is Russia's news media posting the video at first. Yeah, it looked pretty... didn't give me a lot of information. So I just wanted to, preemptively, show you some Oscar bait, for the upcoming Oscars here. She's working really hard, up-and-coming actress, really showing us her range. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Just for the consideration of the Academy. Let's go ahead and have a look.
Мы, жители Курской области, не понимаем, почему вы нас убиваете, бандеровцы. Вот мы вас освобождаем. У вас
Ooh, voice is a little shrill.
СВО, а вы к нам пришли с войной. Мы не понимаем, за что нас.
I don't understand.
Мы об этом у вас не просили.
We didn't ask you to do this. We didn't ask you to do this. I mean, Ukraine absolutely asked for it, right? I mean, begging for it. But we didn't ask for this.
Еще и кричите, москаляку на иляку. Вот мы стреляем только по стратегических объектах, а вы бомбите же.
Wow. Unironic.
Не просили, еще и кричите.
No. Well, hold on.
Вот мы стреляем.
We only shoot at strategic objects. It's unbelievable. Straight face. This is a total performance. This isn't even real tears. This is it. This is all she's got. Just the two, huh? A little extra mascara, a little eyedropper. There we go. Good to go.
Только по стратегических объектах, а вы бомбите жилые дома, больницы, уничтожаете русский народ.
You do all the bad things, not us. You do all the bad things. Can someone point to me a single time Ukraine bombed a hospital in Russia? Could someone go ahead and link that article for me? Show me even a single time. Poor thing. Well, hopefully the Academy sees this. It was half-hearted. Wasn't very good. Probably won't get that Oscar. I'm rooting for her. Not really. So here's the aftermath of Russia, who only bombs strategic targets. So I guess this is a strategic target right here, according to Miss Mascara. I'm sure Jackson Hinkle is retweeting that woman. Oh, can you believe it? Ukraine's so bad. Can you believe it? Ukraine's so bad. Cheap dollar store mascara. It did look cheap. It was very clumpy. I mean, would a military vehicle repair station count as a hospital? Yep. There you go. Proof. Yep. Same thing. Wasn't Hinkle arrested in Venezuela? One can only hope. One can only hope. But I didn't hear about that, no. Just to the east of Rylisk, Kursk region, a Russian column has been eliminated. So we've, I don't know if I've shown this specific clip. This seems to be like right after it happened. Civilians driving up to the aftermath. Yeah, well, I guess you're not going to the Russian knockoff of Applebee's tonight there, Ivan. Back it up, buddy. Whoops. Maybe we'll go to the Russian knockoff version of Denny's instead. Yeah, that's a good idea. Excellent stuff. So we've basically, well, we got some more footage here, so let's go ahead and watch this. This is pretty intense stuff, but it has been censored.
At least 10 people were killed, dozens more were injured when officials say a Russian missile strike hit a shopping center in Ukraine. The blast occurred in the residential area of a town in the eastern Donetsk region. The strike caused a fire.
Is it Mick Dimitriev's? Yeah, I love Mick Dimitriev's.
Residential houses, shops, and more than a dozen cars were also damaged
in
the attack.
I get the Mick Fishy.
Russia has accused Ukraine this week of launching a cross-border assault in Russia's Kursk region.
Damn, I mean, Jesus. I mean, these guys are true heroes. The reason they're not shirtless because they're having a great time. This is summer vacation. They're shirtless because they're right next to intense heat, and they're doing everything they can to help the fire department, get this fire out before it spreads. I don't think it's going to spread any further, though. It looks like it's the only building in there, but absolute heroes here, civilian volunteers jumping in. And yeah, they're not shirtless because they're having a good time, folks.
In Russia's Kursk region, the Kyiv military has not yet commented on that operation.
Welcome back, Doppler. And here they are, body bag. Right. Only strategic targets. I can't believe it. We only strike strategic targets. Yeah. Yeah, because it's a piece of ordnance that was designed to kill to destroy military targets, right? So the amount of damage it's going to do to a fucking supermarket is epic. 17. Jesus Christ. There they are. All the fucking body bags. Essential military targets, according to Russia. Innocent people. Buying groceries. Buying groceries. Oh, but we should give up. Well, I saw a speech from an Irish parliamentary member, and he said it was the smart thing to do is just to give up. Zelensky's the real monster. NATO provoked it. Nothing penetrates that shield, man. How many atrocities have I shown just today? 95% torture rate, according to the UN. Grocery store getting blown to fuck. 17 people at least. Body bags getting pulled out. Oh, well, we gotta give up. Is anyone else sick and tired of it? Every fucking stream, too, man. Every stream is at least one. Oh, well, really, the smart thing to do is to give up, right? That's what I heard from Jackson Hinkle. So these fucking goofballs over here, there's cardiorites. Never say that correctly. So apparently on pro-Russia social media, this is what it looks like with absurd, ridiculous theatrics of these tough, gruff-looking soldier men shooting up bushes and trees like they're in a gunfight, like they're super badass. Is this what's happening? Carter-Revite. So here we have Mega Badass shooting up some bushes. Yeah, Allah Akbar. Take that, bushes. They won't come back ever. Yeah, I'm hopeless. I'm hopeless. This is the American education system writ large. Large and in charge. He got him. Allah Akbar, dog. Look at this. 1000% a Chechen. Did they add the music or did someone else add the music? It's like Final Fantasy battle music. Go get them, boys. Yeah, we're running to the front lines to get smoked by a drone. 4 seconds to putting our boots down on the ground. Yeah, go get them. Are you fucking with me? You are not serious. This is misinformation. This has got to be from a different war, from a different conflict. This is some guy fucking around in his backyard. This is not a representative of the Chechen military, the Russian military. No, this isn't. This is what the fuck? It's misinformation. That's not real. Holy shit, guys. Watch out. Man, if I saw that as a Ukrainian soldier, I'd be pooping my pants in my trench, man. I tell you. He's trying to curve the bullets like in Wanted, dude. He's trying to curve them. He's getting them out of the gun faster. It's a military strategy, okay? You haven't seen this advanced military training. You can get the bullets out faster if you shake the gun. You know, and you kill more people if you spin the gun around. You can kill more people. Shitting pants from laughter. So this is 1 day ago from Canada. We don't need it. We've seen enough. So I wanted to show this here. Russian railway networks facing imminent collapse. So, you know, we've heard this kind of shit before, but you know, and I was reporting earlier on the Russian economy. Not looking so great. They went from number 8 to number 11, I believe, in global economies. Right? So sanctions might be working a little bit. Something might be happening here. Harmony's 7-Eleven. Thank you, Harmony. A state-owned Russian railway faces quote-unquote imminent collapse amid a shortage of locomotives driven by Western-imposed sanctions imposed over the war in Ukraine, a Russian Telegram channel has reported. The sanctions have contributed to a ball bearing shortage in Russia, which has affected locomotive maintenance in the country. This has led to a rise in malfunctions on the network's trains and an increase in the number of vehicles being suspended. Russian newspaper... Okay, we're not going to embarrass myself. Oh, no, is it? I can say this. Russian newspapers Vendomosti and Commiserant reported in February and March this year. So I don't know if this is in this article. I'm not going to bother to read it any further. Hey, free Palestine 100%. You know that. You know that. So I don't know if they are reporting in this article. Like I said, I'm too lazy to read the whole thing. But we've also seen straight up sabotage. We've seen Russians, maybe Georgians, right? But we've seen people inside Russia sabotaging these railroad stations. And all I can say is, you know, that's how you do it, boys. Keep it up. Russian underground, fucking up Russian infrastructure from inside Russia. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. So on top of the sabotage, we're also seeing Russian rail, you know, the ball bearing shortage, other probably not just ball bearings, but ball bearings being a big one, slowing down the, you know, their ability to transport goods. Very good. Yeah, Doppler. Like we should be cautious because Russia is working very hard with India, with China, with other partners. Obviously in Africa, they're all over Africa, pulling as much resource out of Africa as possible. So, you know, let's not get too comfortable here. With that said, you know, this is a sign of good news. Could be good news. Tearing shit up, boy. Woo! Russian underground. Hey, you look, man. You can't vote your way out of this problem in Russia. You can't march because your ass is getting thrown in the gulag. You can be effective with sabotage, though. You know, burning recruitment centers, sabotaging railway networks. right? You can absolutely be effective with subterfuge, right? And I totally support that within Russia. I wanted to show this here because it looks like this Russian fella, you know, got exactly what he was looking for. He got that toilet, you know, that shiny, fancy toilet seat. I guess this is a Russian toilet seat, but you know, it's good enough. Wasn't able to snag one out of Ukraine, but you know, he's going to take one home. Now, I think technically this is a war crime. I think technically this is Ukraine committing a war crime. I think once prisoners have been captured, you're not allowed to humiliate them in this manner. But you know what? I'm just going to, after seeing the grocery store massacre today, I'm just going to go ahead and give the Ukrainian military a little break, huh? I'm just, you know, go ahead and call me biased all day. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give them a fucking break. After 17 plus people killed at a grocery store because Russian military got its fucking feelings hurt. These motherfuckers are lucky to be alive. This motherfucker's lucky to be a toilet seat. This motherfucker's lucky to be a fucking flower pot. Whatever the fuck's on his head. I don't even know what the fuck's on his head, dude. Some pipe. Balance this shit. I think technically, though, that is a war crime. Here's something that is definitely technically not a war crime, and it's something that's actually very rare. You would think it'd happen more often, but it really is quite rare. 1v1 tank duel, and you know it. You know who wins it. You know who wins this. So we got a Russian over here taking a position, pretty good position, got to say. You know, he's got a smart position. He's got a direction to back out. He's got a little peek hole. He's got a good angle there. Doesn't look too bad to me. Looks like a pretty good position. And then we have a Ukrainian over here. You know, it's two different camera angles, so it's a little disorienting. So that's an M90, huh? So we have a Ukrainian over here fighting, and he's got a pretty decent position as well. I assume he's using these buildings over here for cover, but it's kind of a different angle, so it's kind of confusing. So let's see how this goes down. 1v1 fucking tank battle, dude. You love it, man. There's Russia getting two shots off. Oof. Oof. Yeah, Chem Goblin, I was in a hurry, so I literally just filled anything I could find. Sorry, I know. I don't like to drink out of plastic. I'm literally drinking out of well, I'm drinking out of plastic, out of glass. This is a glass straw. I know. Ooh. But no, back to the clip. Yeah, fucking oof, dude. Another big dub for Ukraine, baby. The big dub for Ukraine. Pop, dude. Pop. Pop. Oh. Nasty. And the Russian had two shots. The Russian had two opportunities, at least two. Might have even been hit. No. Okay, so the Ukrainian does fire. So we don't know the timing on this. There could have been other shots that we're not seeing here, you know, because this is edited. So he gets one shot off. So that's a Ukrainian shooting. So he misses that. So the Ukrainian misses the first one. Russian sends another volley, misses. Ukrainians line up. So this is kind of edited timing wise. This is different because the Ukrainian is shooting once while approaching. And then when we pick up here, this is still like basically the same clip. The second shot lines it up, and that's the one that hits. Fucking nice. Fucking nice. Yeah, actually, we have a range of straws, Chem Goblin. We have a silicone straw right here. This is a silicone straw. And of course, we have our glass straw, right? I have metal straws as well that I like to use. Never mind, it goes boom from the back. That's just a well-placed shot. Yeah, let's get a close-up here, see if we can actually catch a frame of it going in. Not really, no. But yeah, that looks like direct hit, catastrophic explosion. Those guys are toast. You're not surviving that one. Ukraine with another dub. So I wanted to, I saw this, I was like, okay, cool, because I like this guy, Michael Clark, what's his nuts? Michael Clark, yeah, Professor Michael Clark. You know, he's, you know, mainstream military analyst, but you know, for the most part, he's got a pretty good take on things. So I kind of wanted to hear what he had to say about the situation. So let's take a quick look. Yeah, Chemgoblin, because it's cheap and because it benefits the oil industry is the short answer.
Okay, well, let's bring in security and defence analyst Professor Michael Clark, who joins me now. And what do we know about the latest fighting, Michael?
Yeah, well, Simon, it's extending. There's been ferocious fighting to the east of this pocket that the Ukrainians have opened up on the Russian side of the border. And there's fighting to the northwest of it at Koronivo. We know about that. And there seems to be a push, I mean, in the other direction, eastwards from this pocket at Plakovo. And so all the indications are that there's quite a lot of fighting going on as the Russians are moving forces from the Vovchansk area, which is a bit further to the east, and they're moving those forces westwards towards this pocket. So the Russians...
Dude, imagine Ukraine taking another chunk of Russia, right? They're pulling resources away from another border region. Ukraine just goes in and occupies it. This is what I'm talking about. If Ukraine had more forces, they could do stuff like that, but they're already shoestring, you know. They don't have that much to play around with like that. Hopefully they have enough, though, to take advantage and take a piece of Ukraine back. Take a big chunk of Ukraine back, right? But Russia is going to, of course, avoid taking anything from any frontline position, right? Because they obviously want to avoid Ukraine, you know, Ukraine's strategy being a winning strategy, right? So
are trying to close in on the pocket, but they are not making any impression on it. And at the moment, the pocket is getting bigger. Now, we don't know how much bigger it might get. At the moment, it's really quite big. It's about 30-odd miles long, about 35 miles long.
Ceramics.
And it's about 14 miles deep at its deepest. Now, it's not even. It isn't that the Ukrainians control all of that territory, but the Russians aren't in that territory. If they are, they're having to fight and they are being captured. And if you look at it in terms of square meterage, somebody was working this out earlier on, and I double-checked it. It is true that about 530 square kilometers have been taken by the Ukrainians, and there's fighting going on in about half as much again. So the Ukrainians are very ambitious.
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? That's really extraordinary, because over the last few years, we've discussed often when we're expecting a Ukrainian counteroffensive, sometimes it hasn't materialized in the spectacular fashion, perhaps, that we...
well, they, you know, she's talking like this happens over and over and over again. She's referencing the one that was previous when they were low on ammo, when they, you know, when they really didn't have, you know, the full support of the U.S. government, and they were still trying to make something happen. You know, for morale purposes. She's talking about, oh, this usually happens this way. It's like, it's happened once, bitch. God.
Expected. This very much is that kind of counteroffensive, nice. and not just in the regions where they were fighting before, but right into Russia, where they completely didn't expect it.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they've got, as I say, they've got the benefit not just of surprise, but of sheer astonishment. And you see those vehicles going past now on the VT.
Chemgoblin, yeah.
If you look at those vehicles, you can see they've got lots
Well, I appreciate it. We got another Lenny fan in the chat. Lenny #1, accidentswaitingtohappen.com. More Lenny. Hashtag more Lenny, folks. Make sure you're liking and subscribing.
Scrap metal on their sides. Now that shows you that they've been in combat already, because soldiers always stick scrap metal on the sides of their vehicles as a guard against incoming missiles. It's what they do. It's the cope cages. They all improvise their vehicles. If those vehicles were coming out of store or from the reserves, they'd look a bit more new. But those vehicles that you can see on those low loaders, they've come from another combat area. So
that's a good point. That's totally a good point. If they were pulled out of the garage, they wouldn't have all the sheet metal and shit attached to them, right? So these are tanks that are getting moved already from different positions. That's great news.
Shows us that the Russians are transferring stuff heavy metal from one combat area to the next, which presumably is one of the things that the Ukrainians wanted to achieve, to make the Russians bring stuff away from the areas around Vovchansk where they're fighting, and particularly further south in the Donbass.
That's really interesting. And what does it mean about the landscape of this war, or you know, special military operation, or as now he's calling it a counter-terrorism offensive, President Putin? So, what does this tell us about the landscape of this ongoing war? Still there 5 days in. Clearly, they believe they've got enough military personnel and equipment to do this for now. And an incursion into Kursk. How does that work with the geography?
Well, it depends on how many troops the Ukrainians are prepared to put into this. I mean, we know that they've got elements of at least 3 brigades, big brigade, good brigades, the 22nd Mechanized Infantry, the 88th Mechanized Infantry, and those are both competent brigades, and the 80th Air Assault Brigade. Now, they wouldn't commit quality troops and quality equipment unless they meant it, so they clearly mean it. And the other thing that's happened is that when you look at what else has gone in with those brigades, they've sent in engineering equipment, counter-mining equipment, air defenses, long-range mortars, multiple launch rockets.
No, they're there to hold it. They're going to dig in. They're digging in as we speak. They're going to make it as difficult as possible for Russia to uproot them. And what we've seen from the Russian military is that do they have enough energy for multiple Bakhmuts? Do they have enough resources and troops to dump those kind of resources consistently into 2 different locations? So they're going to, you know, like I said, the Ukrainians are turning this into a Bakhmut, Kursk into a Bakhmut. What does that mean for other frontline locations? Russia won't be able to back them up in the way that they were normally. I think for that follow faker.
So the Ukrainians are serious about this. They obviously intend to try to stay for a while. Now, one would guess they're going to dig in, and they're going to try to hold this pocket and dare the Russians to come and get them out of it. Now, the Russians cannot live with that. They must get them out of this pocket. I mean, Putin cannot live with the idea that part of his territory has been invaded. That's not happened since 1941. I mean, June 1941, when Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, that was the last time that Moscow had any of its territory invaded. It's happened again. So the Russians have got to eliminate this, and the Ukrainians, I think, must be calculating that they can make a fight of it, and that they can cost the Russians dearly in getting their territory back, and the Ukrainians will want to keep the way open so they can withdraw at some point in good order, they would hope.
And briefly, Michael, I'm wondering if this might also help in any potential future negotiations for territory and ceasefire.
Well, I don't think so, because the Ukrainians would have to
leave. Faker. Leave.
Hold on to it while there are negotiations going on, and negotiations are not going to start this side of Christmas. At the earliest, it'll be next year sometime, and I'd be amazed if the Ukrainians are still holding on to this territory next year.
So then what's the purpose of doing it?
They're trying to, I'm sure they're trying to, A, make a point, trying to impress the rest of the world, upset the Kremlin, show Russian civilians that this is not a counter-terrorist operation, this is a war, and persuade the Russians that if the Ukrainians have put quality troops there, the Russians have got to bring some of their quality troops to get them out, which means they will not be fighting with their quality troops in Chasiv Yar and Pokrovsk, where the Ukrainians are under such pressure. It's to make the Russians redeploy by giving something that Putin's got to worry about somewhere else.
That's right.
Interesting stuff, Professor.
That's right. So pretty much in line to exactly what I was talking about, but I'm glad a professional who actually reads books, is backing me up there. That's exactly what I was talking about. This isn't about holding it forever, but hey, if you can hold it long enough for it to be a bargaining chip in peace, well, that's a nice cherry on top. But it's really about, kind of like he said, showing the world. That was the one thing I wasn't adding, but that is true. Like, it's Ukraine showing the world, this is still happening, showing Russia that this is still happening. I'm doing a couple things when I can. So this is very interesting. I need to read more. I just need more time. It's like I start to write stuff and it's trash and it's garbage, and I'm like, I don't know how to make it better. I don't, it's like I suck at this. But you just got to keep doing it. But it's like You have to keep doing something you're really, really bad at, and you have to do it a lot. Interesting footage right here, air-to-air combat. Drone versus helicopter. Couple $100 drone versus a multi-million-dollar helicopter with all the fancy material, all the gizmos. And you can see it. You can see the drones entering the jamming bubble. When it gets close enough to the helicopter, it cuts out, but it doesn't matter. It's close enough to the helicopter. It explodes probably seconds after the camera gets fuzzy. Probably explodes right there. Plenty of shrapnel hitting a very fragile mechanism. You know, helicopters are very fragile. Doesn't take a lot. You can actually, if you're good, you can shoot down a lot of helicopters with like automatic rifle fire if they want to get that close, right? You can hit up the rotors and stuff. So, you know, a decent explosive with a lot of shrapnel. That's all you need. Just drink a little whiskey and the writing will flow. That's a good point. Maybe I should become an alcoholic. My writing might improve if I become an alcoholic. That is a good point. Looks nice for camping. Yeah, I can't wait to go to Ukraine. You know, that would be a good idea. Chem Goblin, we should do some camping, buddy. Yeah, perhaps after the war. But here we have, like I said, couple $100 drone. And it is interesting. There's jamming. There's definitely jamming happening here. But like I said before, the Ukrainians protected, hiking. But man, I want to do some camping, bro. I want to light a fire. I want to eat some meat off the motherfucking fire. I want to light shit on fire. No. I want to sleep on the ground. No, I'm going to bring a cot. Bring a cot. Sleep off the ground. I want to do some camping. Don't. It's a myth. Eat veggies and exercise and practice. Oh, okay. I'm going to camp. That's good. That's good advice. I'm going to camp at all the Donetsk national parks. That's a good idea. But how much do we think this helicopter cost? So here we have one more. Drone versus helicopter. Or no, this is drone versus drone. Sorry. If I get better video quality, this is about as good as we get. 3 million, yeah. Do we have proof it's down? No, we don't. I'm just having fun. That's the Rust helicopter, the Russian one. Wow, drone versus drone. So this has already happened. This isn't a historical first, but God, this war is weird. This war is so weird, dude. I assume that's a Russian drone. This war is so weird. Very awkward. Awkward for the Russians. It's pretty embarrassing. So here is that video. I don't know if Lenny, if you're still here, but this was the video that I was referencing. You were talking about F-16s a little earlier. So we don't know if this is a sonic boom from an F-16 or something else, but this was heard in Kursk.
Ракеты полетели.
I believe. Yeah, in the Kursk region. So it was some airplane dropping flares. Thank you, Lenny. It was some airplane dropping flares. And then you hear, you can see it dropping flares. So they think it's like explosives or... Yeah, boy! There's that sonic boom, baby. So it's way up. It's miles up there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see America in its next military adventure or whatever, you know, whatever it decides, whatever Middle Eastern country it decides to invade, likely Iran. But it will be interesting to see how well the American military actually is able to fight against modern drone warfare. A new update on Kursk and Russians being hypocrites. Okay, we'll take a look. Newvision.com, never heard of them. If they have been through Top Gun training, good man can take any plane down in the old F-16. There's really no more dogfighting, is there? Russia launched this new operation to halt advancing Ukrainian troops. Ukrainian units stormed into Russia's western Kursk region on Tuesday morning in a shock attack. Yeah, we all know. Moscow Saturday mounted a counter-terror operation in 3 border regions. trying to halt Ukraine's advance. Ukrainian units stormed into Russia's western Kursk region on Tuesday morning on a shock attack. Yeah. Troops have advanced several kilometers, and Russia's army has rushed in reserves. Yep, we know all this. Okay. I don't know if there's much new info there. Maybe I should have read more, but I'm lazy. Sorry. So this is great. We have Georgian soldiers in Kursk. Supposedly. It's hard to confirm. But according to this tweet, at least. Badasses in Russian territory, behind enemy lines. You know, this is the real deal Holyfield. You know, they got the look on them too. They got like the zapped look, you know, like they're fucking looking around. They're in enemy territory. You know what I mean? Like they're in the shit. Yeah. No, this is the no fucking around brigade, right? So this guy right here, he either has some authority or he's a total clown. He's either running the whole show or he's a complete clown, and people are like, I don't know, man, I'm not really in the mood to be recorded right now. This guy right here has got that all over his face. Like, yeah, we're not having a fucking TikTok session right now, bro. So this guy's either the commanding officer or he's the clown of the whole operation. Badass is all the same though, and absolutely putting their neck on the line. These guys are, you know, these guys are tough. Media guy, I think it's the media guy. When was this? When was this?
Ukraine.
I think this was just a few hours ago.
It launched an overnight.
Yeah, we've seen all this info, old info. So this is interesting. You know, Chem Goblin was talking about this in the Discord, how like now all of a sudden the U.S. is cool with this. Like we're tiptoeing. Oh, F-16s. I don't know. Oh, missile ranges. Oh, we should be careful. And then the West puts out comments like this. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Are you concerned that Russia will escalate tensions over this attack?
So she's being asked if she's worried about Russia escalating after this incursion,
including with the U.S.
Right, because that's right. That's what supposedly why we're all these restrictions. Right, we're so worried about escalating. Oh no, Ukraine did something that we didn't ask them to. We didn't know. Oh no, big panic mode. Right?
Anything like that?
No, because at the end of the day, Ukraine is fighting for its sovereign territory that its neighbor invaded. So if we want to...
Yeah, okay, so where the hell was this common sense when, you know, discussing missile ranges and all these other arbitrary restrictions on the Ukrainian military from the U.S. here? Now it's all good? Oh, well, it's Ukraine defending itself. We're not worried about escalation, you know? Putin should get out of Ukraine. Okay.
De-escalate tensions, as we've said from the beginning, the best way to do that is Putin can make that decision today to withdraw troops from Ukraine.
Yeah, it's like the plan has changed. Yeah, exactly.
It can to
no, and it's kind of like I said. This could either be a total massive boner for the Ukrainian military, a big fuck up, or an absolutely brilliant masterstroke that kind of forces the chess pieces to move. You know, everything's been kind of seized up. That war of attrition, that slow, elongated war of attrition benefits Putin. And this is Zelensky kind of throwing a wrench into that machinery.
Continue to take back its sovereign
We'll see though, because the United States hasn't lifted the restrictions. There hasn't been any real leadership coming from Joe Biden. You know, good luck with that. Has Kamala Harris said anything really worth a damn? Not really.
And that's what we're seeing they're doing in this.
What you're referring to. We want to avoid the boners so that we can get the master strokes. Chem Goblin.
We're going to continue to support Ukraine with the capabilities and
yada 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 yada. Restrict. Yeah. You're supporting them. Put the boots on the ground. There's a lot of hungry American Marines that would love to back up Ukrainian military, right? Just ask for volunteers. Guarantee you. If you ask for volunteers from the U.S. military, oh, let's go yesterday. We got a lot of boys ready to fight. Oh, what would Putin do? Oh no, what would Putin do? He'd shit his pants is what he would do. He'd start talking about peace deals real quick is what he would do. Oh, no. Oh, he might escalate. What, you mean like drop a fucking bomb on a grocery store? How about throw some corpses down a well in Bucha? Oh, we got to be careful. Yeah, okay, buddy. So I don't have time for Dennis. I'm sorry. He's great, but I don't have time for him. So this is really quite a harrowing video. Try, prepare yourself, okay? Apparently, Russians will keep sex slaves captive in the front lines on these border regions. And this is the first time we've seen this, but this is Ukraine. They caught them off guard. Ukraine was actually able to liberate some of these sex slaves from Russian captivity. So prepare yourself. This is crazy footage, but watch this. They were not ready for this. Wow. Amazing. They're free now. No longer having to be assaulted every day. Repeatedly, time and time, over and over and over again, by the Russian military. These ladies are safe now. Thank God. Go Ukraine. Wonderful. You're free now, ladies. It's over. He's saying the position is taken. Well, off camera, he was letting these girls know, you're free now. No one thinks that's funny. Fuck you. Fuck everybody. You guys suck. What am I, you fucking clown? What, it's just a ha-ha show? The ha-ha funny times? No one thinks I'm funny. You guys suck. Oh, God. Oh. Thought my phone was ringing for a second. Okay, so this clip was from your boy Davey, and I get it. Thanks, guys. But no, this video is from Davey, and thank you so much, Davey, because this is actually a really, really interesting video. This is somebody from the BBC, maybe Carl here himself. I'm not quite sure if he's reposting this or if this is him narrating it, but it's really, really interesting. It's somebody translating and going through the Russian newspapers and just how they're framing this and how they're, how they're describing this to the Russian people. This is actually really, really funny. I could not see what you showed. Why was it funny? I was saying that the Ukrainians were liberating Russian girlfriends, and it was a bunch of goats. They were goats in the trench. Russians, military having sex with goats. It's a bestiality. Yes. Anyway, this clip is really, really interesting. Joke as old as time. It really is. Maybe next time. Yeah, maybe next time. You'll get him next time, trooper. You'll get him next time. But no, okay. This clip is actually really, really interesting. This guy, like I said, narrating, going through these Russian newspapers, kind of giving us an idea of what of your average day of Russian propaganda. And yeah, the person coming in propagandizing for Russia, saying it's not the Russian civilians' fault. He's wrong. But with that said, the Russian civilian has every obstacle against them in getting real information, right? VPN, you have to use a VPN on your internet. You have to, you can't, there's no newsstand. You can't go to the magazine newsstand. There's no piece of paper you're going to get that's going to give you the truth. If you want the truth, you have to seek it out. And if you actively seek it out, you're putting yourself in danger, to be arrested by the Russian government. So it's a very real situation. I understand that. With that said, can we say any civilian is, any citizen of a government that commits crimes, are those citizens 100% innocent? Sometimes I think there's the case, right? You got your odd madman completely surprising people. I'm sure there's incidences in history like that. But, a big part of power is deriving that from a population, a big group of people. How is it possible that a government can commit all these crimes in front of its population, in front of everybody, and then the population that cedes its power to that government is innocent completely? Not really. Doesn't mean civilians deserve death, and doesn't mean that civilians are still not innocent. It doesn't mean that it's not tragic when they die, of course, but can any civilian, any citizen of a country that commits crimes truly say that they are innocent when their tax dollars and their, acquiescence allows these governments to commit atrocities? I don't think so. I don't know what the percentage would be. I don't think we'll ever know philosophically how guilty is a citizen, right? But I do think that's important to talk about. They get all their power from us.
This is day 4 of Ukraine's
dollars
surprise cross-border attack on Russia's Kursk region. Looking at how the Russian papers are reporting this today, here's something I find interesting. Keep in mind that most of these newspapers...
Well, you watch the News Underground, that's good enough.
...are extremely pro-Kremlin.
Not really.
What's interesting is that there is an acknowledgement in some of these dailies that thus far the Ukrainian army has been pretty successful in Kursk region.
Yeah.
Moskovsky.
So that's kind of the overall narrative, right, of this analysis, is that the newspapers are kind of like, yeah, the Ukrainians are kicking a lot of butt. Are we going to do something about this?
Komsomolets puts it like this. In the short and medium term, the purely military aspect is something quite different. The Zelensky regime has made a strong move, creating unpleasant conclusions and consequences for our side.
Interesting.
If your enemy is strong,
Russian newspaper,
and no one in their right mind doubts that the Ukrainian armed forces are a strong and highly motivated opponent for Russia, then you must be ready for your enemy to make strong and unexpected moves that will occasionally take you by surprise.
Oh, reality?
A military expert tells Izvestia, we need to say clearly the enemy is acting skillfully, daringly, and by all the rules of the art of war.
100%.
It used drones as air cover for its tactical groups, then deployed its reserves and battalion tactical groups, which attacked on different sections of Sudzha, Korenyov and Rilsk districts. It also boosted its air defense capabilities, which follow behind. Komsomolskaya Pravda shows Putin meeting his security chiefs 2 days ago. The paper quotes Chief of the General Staff Valery Gerasimov telling President Putin...
Valery. Oh. I thought it was Valerie.
...that the enemy's advance deep into the territory of Kursk region has been stopped. But based on reports yesterday, that clearly wasn't the case. Izvestia admits that it's too early to talk about the situation stabilizing. Moskovsky Komsomolets. In Kursk region, the situation remains difficult. The government paper, Rossiyskaya Gazeta, unfortunately the enemy succeeded in entrenching itself in an area around several of our villages near the border.
They're dug in now.
What does Russia believe Ukraine's objective is here? In Izvestia, a Russian lieutenant colonel in the reserves hazards these guesses. Ukraine's first aim is to show its Western sponsors and curators that the Ukrainian armed forces can not only retreat, but produce results. The second probable aim is to secure a foothold in Kursk region that can be traded at any future talks. Third, it's an attempt to force us, Russia, to deploy our reserves to Kursk, leaving other areas uncovered. Moskovsky Komsomolets asks, how will Putin respond to Kursk? It's an interesting question because the Kremlin leader has described what's happening as a provocation. He hasn't used the word invasion, and there's been no official declaration of war by Putin. As far as the Kremlin's concerned, Russia is still conducting a special military operation. Komsomolets claim...
Do you think you'd get in big trouble if you just chuckled? If, whatever's like, if you just laughed? If you were like a member of the cabinet and he says, oh, this is a provocation, you just start... you just laugh. How much trouble do you think you'd get in?
Claims this. Putin refuses to play by the rules which his partners in Kiev try to force on him. They're trying to push Putin into immediate dramatic measures and gestures. Measures will definitely be taken, but only when it suits Russia and the president, not the enemy. The writer concludes by saying this.
Russia
the
and the president, they're two separate
Putin
things.
Cannot leave what has happened without a fitting response. Simply pushing the Ukrainian army out of Kursk region may be only one part of this. Nezavisima Gazeta has this prediction. Once it has expelled the Ukrainian army from Russian territory, Russia's northern grouping of forces will probably attack Ukraine's Sumy region.
Yeah, you think so, Zeoduke? This is an amazing video that I don't have time for. This is a Vlad Vexler video. The meaning of Ukraine's Kursk invasion. Well, I might have time, actually. Let me see what we got left. Oh, this is such a good video, man. No, it's too heady. People don't get it. I don't have time for it, and I should have done it at the beginning of the stream, not at the end. I don't have time for it, but I do recommend watching it. It's really good stuff. Check out Vlad Vexler. So I wanted to end the stream featuring two beautiful people from Ukraine who are doing everything they can to stand up. Thank you, Extended, for that follow. But they're doing everything they can to fight against Russia's aggression. They're not giving up, especially this woman. You know, the next video is a little bit more silly, but this is a very serious video. You know, obviously this woman injured, shrapnel, you know, an explosive went off right close to her face, and this is what it looks like. You know, she's got injuries all over. She's going to heal up. She's not going to look like this permanently. This is scabbing, but she will have the scars all over her face for the rest of her life. And I just wanted to show you what she had to say, because I think these are very poignant words. She's a very beautiful person in my eyes.
Друзі, я так рада, що ви бачите, що я борюсь з цим всім, і що я йду на поправку, навіть незважаючи на цей біль, а він дуже є нестерпний. Я продовжую боротися за себе і за наш дім, за все. Просто я хочу самі собі доказувати і показувати, що я дуже сильний і що я зі всім справлюсь. А завдяки вашій вірі це все можливо. Оченятка сьогодні дійсно вже стали краще.
She's saying her eyes are better. Well, I got to say, she's lucky to even have vision at all. Lucky.
Я тут не одна, зі мною мама, приходять до мене люди. Я всім дякую за привітання, за побажання найкраще, за донати. Ви неймовірні люди. І я хочу сказати, я не соромлюсь себе зараз, бо це є обличчя.
So she says, I'm not ashamed, because this is the face of war. It is cruel. It is like this. And it is not feminine.
Війни, вона жорстока, вона така, і вона не жіноча. Все буде Україна.
That's a true hero right there. That's a true hero. This, I mean, this frame right here, you can see there's definitely some damage there. You know, but that's really something else. You know, what she said, you know, this, she says, and I want to say I'm not ashamed of myself now, because this is the face of war. It is cruel. It is like this, and it is not feminine. You know, and that tells me she's like, she made this commitment. She was a soldier. She was fighting on the front line. She made this commitment to sacrifice herself for war, for, you know, for democracy in Ukraine, for a better world. And she's not ashamed of it. This is what it looks like. A lot of people get to hide it. You know, this is kind of like, this is why, you know, the characters in Tarantino's movie was carving the swastika, right? Because, you know, Nazis, they get to take off that uniform, and then you don't know they're Nazis. Well, it's, you know, she doesn't get to take this off. This is the result of Russia's brutal aggression. She's not ashamed of fighting against it. This is what it looks like when you have to fight. It's ugly, it's cruel, and she's not ashamed of it at all. Yeah, it's likely some explosion very close to her, you know, debris, dirt, glass, could have been glass flying in her face. But yeah, it's not dirt. It's not dirt. Those are scabs, you know, because those are all little mini injuries all over her body there. You know, she was hit with a shrapnel there, you know. Lucky to be alive. Lucky to be alive. But an absolute hero. And I hope she, you know, if she wants to return to the front lines, I hope she does that successfully. And if she wants to maybe retire from the front lines and continue fighting, you know, behind the front lines, I would encourage her all the same. Absolute hero. And, you know, this is the face of war. It's not pretty. Here's a different face of war that's a little bit more sexy.
We are Ukrainians. Of course we always wear body armor. We are Ukrainians.
My
of course
God.
we drive armored vehicles.
My God, the mustache ride that this man would give you.
We are Ukrainians. Of course we can survive without electricity. We are Ukrainians. Of course we are skilled in weapon.
You know, that the sound you hear is actually not the knife entering the tree, believe it or not.
Of course we are skilled in weapon.
Oh shit, dude, he fucking all right. You see what he did there? He engaged the first round with the knife. Shut up.
We are Ukrainians. Of course, we're all incredibly grateful for all your support.
Hey, great guy. Awesome. And wow. Holy shit. Save some for the rest of us, buddy. Damn. I mean, I'm married, but I'm not that fucking married. Gee. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, honey. What can you do? Look, we were alone in the trench. The Russians were shelling. His chest was so warm. The curves of his abs felt so nice between my fingers. Ah! No, he looks great. He used to look like that 50 years ago. I believe it. I look like that right now, except it's an optical illusion. I'm tricking everybody. I'm like a chameleon. Welcome back, Memento. Sorry you got here at the very end, bud. But no, that's the end of the stream. Sorry, everybody. Bye. Bye. Stream over. Bye. He hack, he attack, but first he a snack. Oh! From Cadillac. That's from Cadillac. No, big props to literally everybody in here. Like I said before, it's the regulators in the chat. Our number one. It's the number one chat on Twitch. I don't want to hear no bullshit from anybody else. Your clown ass chats flying at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Oh, look at me, 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 look at me. Clown ass motherfucking chats. This is the real chat. This is the real discussion. Realest motherfuckers on Twitch right here. News Underground. Zeo Duke, Cadillac, Lenny, female eunuchs, Memento, all you OGs, Smash. Thank you for all the new follows. Thank you to all the lurkers. Woke Patriot, Ice King of Space, Chem Goblin. We got ribbons. We got strategy member. Extended. Welcome back. Got a new viewer. Scatterbox. You seem all right. We'll give you props. Trailhead. All the classics. All the classics. Bunch of new users. Thank you coming in. Who else here? Who else here? Davey, your boy Davey stopped in for a bit. Thank you, Davey. Who else? We had Quick Double Tap stopped in. Arbitoire. There's Arbitoire. Thank you again. Quick Double Tap. Arbitoire. Harmony over here. Netanyahu wanted to talk about Israel. Doppler. Thank you for coming in, Doppler. Free Palestine. Indeed. Vizon. Big props to Vizon. Mitsu. Big props to Mitsu. Mozambique. Over there at Kick, Mozambique, on the Kick platform for some godforsaken reason. But yeah, we're on there. Classica, a new friend from Ukraine. Thank you, Classica, for coming in, giving us your perspective. Blue Brother, all the way from Germany. Thank you, Blue Brother, all the way from Germany. Thank you so much for all of your perspectives, all of your comments. And Zeo Duke's 100%. This is the number one chat. Goats. We even had goats. I'm playing my PS5 right now. David, congratulations. You know, there's starving kids in Africa that don't have PS5s. No, Vizon. Lurkers rock. If you're lurking, You rock. Easy. That's easy. That's a slam dunk. If you're lurking, you rock. Because you're not disagreeing with me in the chat. So that's great. You're like the perfect, you're like perfect. All right, everybody. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East. Glory to the Ukrainian democracy. And let's not forget the solution to all of our problems. Political activism. Step 1, inform ourselves. Step 2, Step 1, inform ourselves. Step 2, put your name down. Sign up to an organization. And step 3, put in the fucking work. Goog and swoop, motherfuckers. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East. And glory to the Ukrainian democracy. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Zio Duke. I'm doing the best I can. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind thoughts, positive energy. Thank you so much. I'm trying to hold it together. Fuck, man. I'm trying. News Underground, bitch. #1 for news. News Underground. Abandoned nihilism. One day. One day. One day. News Underground. Abandoned nihilism. Peace out. Thank you, Lenny. Big props to Lenny. Yeah, I'm gonna play Cyberpunk really soon, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna play some Cyberpunk really soon. It's ready. It's finally ready.
Damn, skipping.
Take care of yourself, everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, anime is solid, dude. Cyberpunk anime. Check it out. It's pretty solid. Have a good one, everybody.
Demons in my soul, triple 6 with no love. Like a piece of walking dead, bullets in your head, so fuck yeah, boy. I blast you